Disclaimer. Viewer discretion is advised. The following podcast contains highly unqualified opinions, an adventure, and completely biased takes on Rocket League gameplay. All trash talk is performed by trained amateurs in a controlled environment. Do not take it personally. Nothing said here is meant to offend, only to entertain and push each other to play at our peak. If you find yourself getting roasted, play better. This is CrashCast. No breaks, all boost.
Welcome back to the podcast, the CrashCast. We got a new co-host here, permanent now, Gold Moon. Say hello, Gold Moon.
I get it. Y'all wanted me here. There hasn't been a time where nobody's in the comments saying, where Go Moon at? Go Moon at? Look, man, after negotiating a deal,
a deal of
$3.99, man, you know,
deal?
we finally agreed upon it, and, you know, I'm here for 5 years
signed.
on a $0 contract, so, you know, very excited.
Yeah, we basically gave away half Car's salary, so,
Wait, we're paying him?
Tired of me. Not to turn up.
But we
We'll
got
authorize
our
that.
other co-host, of course, Car. Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yo. And then we got Darty,
That's all I got.
the man, the myth, the legend. Yes, sir. Say
Shout-
hello, Darty.
Shout out,
We got
My
Darty.
reputation
Shout out,
precedes me.
and
Or,
then we got our best guest so far, TJW.
Best guess so far. Hell yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take
we
it.
needed
Yeah,
an
that's me.
expert.
That's me.
Come on.
Yeah, you need a C tier expert. That's for sure.
This
Y'all
guy
been
wasn't here
lacking
last
on the
week.
down below.
This guy
Yeah.
wasn't here last week.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an emergency last week,
Mhm.
so I understand, him not being there. So we're
Y'all
giving him a
ducked me
chance
like
to-
3 times, bro.
Twice.
You tried to pull me from work.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
was like, bro,
Twice.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
twice. Sorry, twice. Then you tried to pull me
Alright,
from work.
come
What
on.
am I supposed to do around here?
TJ,
Oh,
spreading
God.
misinformation. Wait till
Yeah,
Mr.
for real.
Information finds you.
But we got here top 5 pickings here. All right, Darty, you can go ahead
Yep,
and give us the rundown. So,
sure thing. So up top, I've given some context for you guys just to see kind of like some of the gas stats. The only thing that's not included is the score. So gas is goals, assists, saves, score, demos. That's typically what people see to get like a general gist of a player. As far as the superlatives we're tracking on the 3v3 League dashboard, I just threw these up. But how we're going to be going through all of our rankings is we all have lists here plus an aggregate placement, and we're going to be going through every pick like number by number. So everybody's 5th pick will be revealed at the same time, and then everybody's 4th, 3rd, so on and so forth until all of our picks are done, and then I'll show you guys the aggregate. So based on wherever we placed somebody, it'll place them accordingly. Did some calcs and did some fun stuff in Excel to make it happen. But this is basically if you got picked 3 times in the 3rd spot, you're probably going to end up 3rd in the aggregate. But that's pretty much what we got here for the rundown. And we're good to get into it if you guys are ready.
yeah.
Don't know
Get
who's
it.
aggravated.
All right. So we're starting with the C tier, and your 5th picks are here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
some consistency in Totra. I like the Totra picks. I want to hear a little bit about Dunyan and Skillicam first for your 5th picks. You want to start, Car?
Okay. Yeah, Car.
Yeah, I got it.
Get it.
Listen, man. Y'all weren't there for that series. Neither was I. I mean, you heard it in the clip that was posted in the Cliff channel, right? The Match Cliff channel. Dude, Dunyan has got to be one of the most hyped people in the whole entire league. Like,
He is
undoubtedly.
good.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
honest to
energy,
God, that's like
100%. But I also
Yeah.
casted
Oh,
that
yeah.
match, so I don't know what you're talking about. I was there.
No, like you weren't in VC. You weren't in VC with him though. But, like he's actually such a hype person. He
Yeah,
reminds me a
that's
lot
why
of,
he's
like,
why he's
Hyper.
on my caster team because he's
Oh, wait,
he's
true,
literally
true.
a crack.
I forgot about that.
I love him.
Not only that though, but I mean, he's been playing really solid. Dunyan's definitely a player that
Oh, God, it's so quiet.
Oh no, he's
I thought he
You
did
like
that
went super
dramatically.
quiet.
He
Be
just
my
like
boy.
whispering to himself.
What do you mean? What happened?
You kind of
You
just
went
like
really
moved
quiet.
away
Tapered.
from your mic.
Oh, my fault. I was just saying I underrated the guy a lot. He's doing really good now.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm looking at the overall scores here. He's on what team is he on again? Nessie's. Yeah.
Nessie's on top.
Okay. Didn't
Sure, you guys are on top.
didn't Nessie's receive an FF?
Oh, they
In
did.
week
Yeah,
two.
my team.
Yeah.
My team.
Yeah.
Rolling out
So
Yeah, TJ got scared.
I didn't get scared, bro. I was there. I said at 2v3. That's how easy it would have been.
Damn.
Yeah, and I
damn.
denied that
Damn.
one.
That's crazy.
He did deny that. He
Yeah,
didn't want it.
so I'm not gonna rate anybody on Nessie's super highly with the idea in mind that they got a free 3-0. So they're obviously number 1 in rankings right now. They're 9-3. But I mean, if we take away the FF, they're 6-3, and that puts them middle of the pack. With
Look,
King Kong on top, 7-5, and then Race, Moby Dix, and Nessie's in that, and Jormungandr, all kind of in that middle pack, and then unfortunately Night Stalkers hasn't quite figured it out yet, and they are actually just 1-9.
Damn.
But so as much as I love my Battle Bus Berserker, personally I wouldn't include him in this list.
Okay, I don't care what you say. Dunyan on top. Get out of my face.
Battle Bus Berserker, honorable mention, but not top 5.
Okay.
All right, Yoki, I like the Skillacam pick. You want to go over that real quick?
I got a few words for you, Darty.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse sweep on Totra. Reverse sweep on Totra. That's all I
Oh
got.
shit,
Sweeps
chat.
have
On his
aura.
That's all I
dome.
gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
This guy just said recency
Kill
bias.
Cam.
Recency bias.
Recency bias.
But I do see Chotra's improvement, like, because I'm on the rates and stuff, but like it's just his mental, like I feel like his mental is just like keeping him like back, and I feel like Skillercam doesn't have that blockage, and I feel like he's also getting this improvement, so I just have to put Skillercam ahead of him just for now. Like I feel like Chotra's definitely like top 6 through 7, like
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But top 5, I'm not too sure.
Well, I mean, now we got the popular opinion. TJ, do you want to start with your reasoning on Totra,
On Totra, honestly,
number 5?
kind of think he's about the only reason that they've been competitive for a while. They've been swapping everybody in and out, and he's the only person that stayed consistent. I mean, he is a first round pick, so
Yep.
it's kind of obvious in that sense. But I think he deserves the 5th spot for honestly being the anchor of that team and being the only reason I think that they do take a series so far.
Okay.
Like 6 and 7, they're doing pretty good. Just depending on how sweeps and other things have gone, you're basically in the middle of the pack. And I think, and I kind of follow the same reasoning here with his mechs and the impact he brings as a player. I think the team doesn't do this well without Totra. Goldmoon, your thoughts?
Pretty straightforward. C tier, man, no one can play defense. That's just it. So who, this list, at least personally for C tier, is just who's gonna be the guy that can score on everybody. You could even look at them. I did some personal hunted down. Some people on my list, and even people that were near, they don't have the craziest defensive stats, except spoiler, you'll see it there. But yeah, no, Totra, the ability to kind of solo carry, right? I think that's a crazy thing to do in threes at any aspect. And is he more capable of it because of the lack of defense in this? I think Days really harped on it well when you brought up like it's very, very light. There's a lot more scoring. There's a lot more mistakes. So Totra himself on his own is very much capable of punishing those.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is your number 5 here. The next one, number 4 picks. All right, we got some diversity here. Picks all around the board. Let's start top left and go bottom right. So, TJ, you got Chewy Chungus in number 4.
Yeah. Obviously, I think right now he's a little overshadowed by Q-Full overall. Q-Full's definitely. But since the start of the season, I thought they were the best 1-2 combo in C tier at least as individual players. As a team, I don't think they got to really figure it out. But I think if they do mesh well, I think that's gonna be the scariest duo in the league by far. But I think they've been struggling. But I do think Chewy individually as a player has potential to have plays where he can just score the ball 1v3 for sure. So I think he's just kind of an X factor for that team, and I think that's what puts him in number 4 for me.
All right. Carr with the T-Slays pick.
Oh yeah, this originated from a conversation I was having yesterday with TJ actually. And if you look at statistics, T-Slays just keeps up. He may be their 4th man, but T-Slays is the best sub in C tier by far. He does so good at keeping up with the game and whatnot. If you've watched him play besides in the league, he's just a really solid player in general. So I mean that's why I've got him there.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find any statistics here.
I mean, he doesn't have very many games. He's got 2 games on record.
Look, man, his score average is high.
Yeah,
I have
he
him
got
for
he got
five
2
games on
he got
record.
4 goals over the 2 games. I will
Score
say though,
average is
He
high.
has 2
playing
wins,
playing
3
against the
losses.
worst team in the league, and when one of them rage quits in the middle of
Oh
the match, from
shit!
what I heard,
shit.
like it's
Dang.
it'll bump up the stats a little bit. We were farming a little bit that
I
series.
mean, I'm seeing
The
157 average score, 0.8
Was it?
average goals, because he's played 5 games, not 2.
so he's played 5 games.
Yeah. So if we
Yeah,
were
you're
just looking at the 2, that was
Am I
probably
tripping?
going to be good. I mean,
You
I
think
still
about
would have
something else?
excluded that because we
Maybe-
have less than 10 games for a player. I'm not going to
5
consider
games
them.
did he play?
Maybe I just looked at like
Okay,
1 week on
let
me
me look
chat.
at this.
I don't care. T-Slate's on top. I hate all y'all.
What the fuck?
This
Hell
He was
no.
looking at
I
the
didn't
guy's
think
stats.
repping
about
a
that.
set, bro. He's repping a
I
set.
mean, I'm
Fuck
cooked,
outta
I
here.
guess. I don't even remember what games T-Slace plays.
I'm
And that's
pulling him
his
up.
teammate, bro.
I know.
T-
Was it did he play preseason?
No,
I
he
don't
played.
remember
He
the
played in
preseason.
week 2 and week 4.
Damn, TJ took like
Ooh.
In
like
week
5
2.
hits, bro.
Week 2,
Week two
he
we
got
did-
swept.
God
Week
damn.
2 was our FF.
Oh yeah, that is
Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa.
FF.
We're
That
2-1
shouldn't be
right now.
counted, Yeah.
So you're
That should be
cooking his
counted.
stats.
Yo, Darty, you're
cooked
tripping,
it. You
dog.
No,
cooked
that
him.
should. I just needed to exclude that group from his stats, but that is in his
Yeah.
activity history. So we really only have data for, haha, he played 2 games, and you think he's top 5?
That's
Yeah,
crazy,
bro.
Car.
All right.
I don't know about
That's-
that.
that's-
He is,
you
I will
just-
say he is the
that's
best.
just
He's the best sub in
Listen,
C3. He's the
chat.
best sub
Listen,
by far.
chat.
Best sub by side.
The best sub in C tier is you, TJ. We're gonna get it to you later, so just calm down.
Whoa.
The best
Whoa,
of TJ's the star.
Oh, sorry. Let me
TJ's the
clarify.
MJ of his
The-
team.
I'm
He's the
saying
MJ
this
of his team,
best person to sub up. Let me clarify that.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, I said I was
hold on.
I misunderstood what you guys were saying.
I was about to say that. Like,
I'm like,
Did
yeah,
Darty
you could
just
sub,
say
you
all-
could put TJ on like any team, and he would just annihilate. That's what I
bro,
meant
it's
by
no
that.
saying,
Nah,
bro.
He got lucky. He got
Crazy.
lucky.
All right, bro. You don't gotta glaze him
Damn,
just 'cause
bro,
he's
Car,
here.
that's exactly
It
what
won't
happened to you
happen
in S
again.
tier, bro. You got lucky as
It
shit.
won't happen again. Nah, that was
Lucky
different.
shit.
Everybody
All
else.
right. Anyways, next.
Skillcam.
Next one.
What you got?
Skillacam. I think it's kind of the same reason that Yoki had it. I think it's a little bit more impressive than what Tacha's doing personally. I think one thing that we need to focus on with this list is individual players, right? How are they performing? Yes, you want the guy who's winning. You also want the guy that is also performing in a lot of the aspects of the game. And Skillacam, consistent last league. He's doing the same thing this league. A good read from Days again. Just kind of shouting him out before, and he's keeping up. He's keeping up with everything.
Yeah, it's gonna kind of really good.
Yeah, if you're on the second best team in the league right now, I think you should be on this list, basically.
Yeah.
And being on King Kong, totally agree with you there.
Wait, who's first best?
Currently, it's Nessie's
Y'all got your own opinion.
because
Oh,
of
right,
because
it
of the
is,
FF,
isn't it?
just because of the FF.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
hilarious.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that game actually play out.
Me too. I think it would have been a good one.
Let's do a show match. Do a show match.
Don't
Can we do it again? Can we?
This guy hasn't heard of the playoffs
Nope.
before.
It's playoffs. Gotta roll with it how it is. All right, and interesting pick here, Yoki.
All right.
What you got?
I like it.
Look, I got in here because, okay, I don't think he's necessarily like mechanics wise better than Chocha, but this man's mental is pretty fucking good. Like even when he's during the reverse sweep against Skillacam, bro, he stayed up the whole way through. The whole way through. He didn't drop in performance. It was just like he was just keeping his touches up. He was being there for them. I mean, I think Ant deserves to be like talked about for his perseverance, man. I think he deserves it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, statistically, I can see him in the conversation. Absolutely.
He's getting shit on by Skillacam Preet and them, bro. And Ant's like the only one like doing shit while everyone's whiffing. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, okay, like Ant's like the only one touching the ball. I was like, shit, bro. I was like, okay, like you go ahead, touch the ball, baby.
He's
I
locked in.
want to know TJ's opinion on Yoki's statement here.
honestly, I think that one might be a bit of a stretch about the mental. I'll be honest a little bit. He's a bit of a roller coaster. He'll be a good
I mean,
hype
I'm not
man,
saying
but
like he's
when he goes
29.
low, he goes low. He'll stay high when he's high, but dude,
Well,
you hand that guy one L and it falls
I mean,
fast. It falls fast. He's a bit of a roller coaster on the field.
yeah, but he kept it in the last series, so that's all I gotta say.
Last series, I
Kept
mean,
it.
They
went
Another
through the
recency
Look, all I'm
bias
saying
by
is-
Yoki.
All I'm saying is, bro, if you're getting reverse swept and he's still touching the ball and everyone else is whiffing on his team, I'm just saying that's tough mental. Like, that's crazy.
He's locked.
Go up 2-0, lose 2-0 again, and then now you're in game 5 and he's still hitting the ball. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Me and TJ talked to him after. he
He was pissed.
We were-
Yeah, he was
we
pissed.
were-
he was pretty mad, bro.
Yeah, he was-
it felt pretty opposite. It felt pretty cooked.
Bro, he's
Well, I
pretty
mean, I'm not
serious.
saying like obviously out of the game. Like out of the game,
I guess that's fair. Yeah, I don't. I
like,
wasn't there in
yeah,
game.
I'm
you
saying
were.
locked.
Yeah, that's fair,
He was
that's
locked
fair.
still in the game.
Yeah, that's
Look,
fair.
man,
That's fair. That's
all I
fair.
gotta
Even Asagi got pissed off after.
do. And he had a loving family, so I don't know. It's crazy out here. But let's hear what you got, Darty. I'm curious about Preet actually.
Yep.
Like, Preet's
So
interesting.
I mean, kind of follows up on the logic I said earlier. Like I said, if you're on the second best team, you're there for a reason. Granted, it's by technically one game, 7-5, where most of the other pack is at like 6-7. So I think that they just kind of push a little bit more. And Preet was, like you said, one of those people that is like causing a significant impact on the field when he's there. Like, when you're getting shit on by Skilla, Cam, and Preet, you said that. That's exactly kind of the line of thinking I'm going with here. Not
wondering if
super
Skilla Cam's
deep, but
higher than this.
statistically, homie just kept
Yeah,
showing
he's
up.
going crazy.
He's
going crazy this
around.
season.
Like,
Definitely the biggest sleeper pick, I think.
definitely think Preet is really deserving to be on this list.
Yeah, I think he improved a lot from last season because Dunyan saw Preet's potential, I believe, last season, but I don't think things worked out. But
Mhm.
I'm glad Preet's showing up now. For this season, it's great.
All right, well, that's all our number 4 picks. Here comes the number 3 picks for everybody.
Oh damn!
So
Okay.
a lot of repeat names here. Let's start again with the top left with you, TJ, with Skillacam up here.
Yeah, honestly, me personally, I pretty much got Preet at 6, but I think the only reason Preet succeeds so well is because Skillacam.
Okay.
I think he allows Preet to do his thing and not really have a worry. I think Skillacam plays super solid and really fills any gaps that Preet might leave behind because he can be a little over aggressive, can leave some gaps with his play, can overcommit, and I think Skillacam does a great job filling that role and still outputting numbers himself while supporting Preet's plays. So I think Skillacam deserves number 3 spot 100% for that.
Okay.
Well, you can see ahead. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Basically just, part 2 of the King Kong success. Like, what more can you ask? But sorry to jump ahead on that line part, so I'll skip over myself later. But Memento Mori, an interesting pick here, Car.
How do we not have Mori here? Maybe Mori's played bad. TJ, has Mori played bad?
I mean, you have T slaves.
No, dude. As soon
I
as
don't
that
know.
man got his PC, bro, he's been a
Yeah.
bit of a different.
Yeah,
different
how
beast.
do we not have Mori 3? If he's not 2 or
I
1
just-
on anyone else,
I just think it's hard to move him up a bunch just because he hasn't played that many games. And his first series he played wasn't great. His second
He's
series
played
was wonderful.
12, from what I can
Yeah,
see.
with the preseason. I guess
Let me hear it, let me hear it.
Preseason he played bad.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about season though, not preseason. Preseason, you're
Yeah.
still getting warmed up into it.
I mean, what,
Yeah,
did he
in
get,
the
did he get
first season,
selected
I
in
played the best.
preseason or something like that?
I don't know.
I'm checking it. We
3-1 King Kong.
They got a game.
Yeah.
But still.
They got a game. This guy's a fan.
He's doing all right.
Yeah, Mori's doing solid.
I don't know, man. I think Mori is one of the best C tier players for sure. I think he always has had the potential in the C tier. I mean, Mori's always been a solid player. He's always been a surprising player for me, at least, knowing how low ranked he is. Or rather, how underdeveloped he is, but how solid he still plays. I think now that he is a PC, I mean, I think he's gonna have a great series going to week 5 and week 6, and furthermore into playoffs.
Okay, I mean, I can see the vision. I can definitely see it.
Bro, I had to open my third eye for this.
He did no research for this. That was his third eye.
Yeah, bro,
That's what
straight
I'm
up.
hearing, bro. Every
I
time you
know, I
go,
don't
you
know
haven't had
ChatGPT.
any confidence
Yeah,
in your
bro.
picks. You go,
I don't know
what's
nothing
happening?
about
I don't
it.
have the same answers as the class. No, dude, because you
Of course
didn't
not, of course
study.
not.
You didn't study.
Indeed. Not my fault. I've been
Look,
busy.
man. Like, let me show you some
Bro,
ball
I could
knowledge
get.
here, bro.
I got
All right.
all of my picks done today.
Y'all had
Yeah,
I was able to do my
Skillicam,
homework
you
and
know, you
everything.
talking about Skillicam with Preet and all this.
Yep.
If you really think about it, though, I watched the games.
Mhm.
I cannot say you guys are wrong for putting Skillicam right there, right?
Mhm.
But they're like the same player, right? TJ, you're saying this and that, bro. This is why you're C tier, right? There's the reason for it.
That's
They-
wild.
Shit.
Talk your
If
talk.
you
Goldblum.
look at the stats alone, they are essentially the same player. They are
Yeah.
essentially the same player. And if you watch the game, and that's why they work so well. So that's why I say I can't say you're wrong truly for putting Silicam there, and putting him higher even, because I guess you said you had Preet 6. But they're the same player. They both I think have such a
Pretty
nice
interchangeable.
like chemistry, a nice
Mhm.
bond.
Yeah.
And I mean that's why they're succeeding.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, fair enough.
All right,
enough.
Chewy Chungus. TJ had Chewy on his radar, but what's your reasoning, Yoki?
Well, I think he was talking about Q full, right? About how like he's kind of like overshadowing Chewy a little
Yeah.
bit, but like honestly, like I just like Chewy Chungus a little bit more, just because like I feel like without Chewy, Q full might not get the amount of goals he has. He might have the amount of
Hmm.
saves, but I think without Chewy, he doesn't get the amount of goals he has. So I feel like I gotta put Chewy like a little bit higher on this list because he's kind of getting it done with his assists and he's getting saves too, even though he's falling behind Q full a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. So
That's
my
fair.
opinion.
That's totally fair. But yeah, we've talked the skill cam pre-debate here, so we are done with our number 3 picks. Our number 2s, bang. Okay, we're seeing some
Okay.
interchanges here.
I already see the
2X,
bias. I already
Q-Full
see the
2X.
bias.
And then the TJ.
Look at him, he knows.
mentioned.
What?
Huh?
He knows I'm looking at him.
What are you talking about?
He knows.
Go ahead, TJ. Let's talk Q full real quick.
I mean, I think the stats kind of speak for themselves on Q-Full.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
fair.
think he's been
He's a
he's been a
shooter.
star player. He's a star player on that Jormungandr team. I
He's a
think
shooter,
overall,
man.
I think he's been performing day in day out, and he's been consistently
Shooter and defender.
performing. So I think he's doing his thing, and I think he's proved it game in and game out that he should be second place on the list.
I think so too. I think there's a clear first, and Q full doesn't quite make that, but I definitely think he should be number 2 here.
Mm.
All right, let's hear the Shuck opinions. And I misspelled one of those.
I was about to call him out. You never disrespect.
I
stuff
typed
like
I
that
typed
again.
it like 8 different
Ever.
times. You'll have to excuse me that I
Time.
like in 8 different places I've typed Shuck and corrected it. So
Listen, man.
happens.
Nessie's the number 1 team in C tier for a reason. All right.
I'm not
Chuck,
counting that FF, bro.
Definitely-
Not
Chuck,
counting
listen,
that FF.
all right, listen, bro. You also said your A tier team was in D tier, all right?
Yeah.
Anyways, listen, chat.
And then
Shuck,
all right, we'll get
Shuck
into it later, bro.
is, of course, we will. Shuck is just an amazing C tier player. All right, he could sub up to B. He could probably, I won't go that far. He can sub up to B, and he can honestly perform.
He's
There's-
an
there's some-
amazing
there's sometimes
C tier, you
there's-
say.
Yeah, there's sometimes that I think. There
Then
are
why does he
points
has
in time where I
252
look
average
at-
score?
Listen, man, I didn't say Shuck was selfish. I say he was a good player.
What's his impact?
He's the Dennis Rodman.
Exactly.
I like it. I like
The
it. I like it.
most-
Shut up! Don't say exactly, Car. That's Yoki, bro.
All right,
Right.
Yoki, please give me a more coherent opinion on Shuck here.
Thanks, Yoki. Thanks, Yoki.
Look, bro, he's the Dennis Rodman, bro. He's in that midfield, fucking challenging people. He's getting his hands up. You know what I'm saying? He's bumping into people. He's doing everything everyone else doesn't want to do. All right. Well, maybe Eric wants to do it. I think Eric loves to bump and all that shit. But I'm just saying, Chuck, I feel like he's just going defending that midfield with his life on the line. He's like, you're not getting past this half court, basically. Like he's guarding Steph Curry every time. I swear to you, crazy. And that's why I got him at number 2, bro. He doesn't get the points. He doesn't get all these fucking gas stats, bro.
I just don't see him on, like, I'm looking at all the aggregate stats, like, you know, average boost consumption, inflicted, demos, saves, assists, and I'm just like, he's just middle of the pack here, bro.
Man,
Bro.
And this is, and you know, stats always say so much, but
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
for where he was drafted and what we expected of him, I think he's fell short. And the only reason that he's rated so highly by you guys is because you see the 9-3. Don't consider that one of those games was an FF. And
I don't care about the 9-3.
Okay,
well, yeah, but that's why you would
wait.
rate him higher, though. Is he's on the
that's
number 1
hard.
team?
That's
Not at all. Not at all. Regardless, though, I think
just
that
think
game.
I don't know,
think that
Car. Your
game
picks
would've
are
been
saying
good.
that you're just blind shooting out here.
Yeah,
man.
of
kinda.
course I am, dude.
I'll say that about C tier for sure because I had to actually do some research for this, bro. That's
Yeah, no,
horrible.
I blind shot C tier 100%. I had
But
no
you
time.
blind shotted it that much?
Dude, I had no
crazy,
time. I
man.
had no time.
Oh my god, you're
What
so
do you mean you
stupid,
had no
bro.
time? I had time to prep all
mean,
this
I'm-
and do my homework.
Indeed, I had work and I was in and out of the hospital.
I'm stupid.
Brother.
All
Trying to play
all
some
right,
cards
whatever,
against
man.
me. That's whatever.
Whatever, bro.
All right. The TJ pick for number 2, Gold Moon.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Number 2.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Shut up. You can't talk, bro. Okay, so here's a little bit of something, right? I think the fun thing I've had about it, you know, Shaq has brought it up, is I'm outside of the game, right? I'm outside of the league, so I get to do this full unbiased and everything. So I've been playing scrims, with a bunch of these people too, and especially a lot of C tiers recently and a lot of B tiers. TJ, you've impressed me, dude. You have genuinely impressed me. I'm gonna put it in already that you could definitely end up on the number 1 here of individual players at the end of the season. I think just statistically and performance wise, because again, I'm not gonna just go and say TJ's here because he has less goals. No, it's close. Qful is not up there number 1 for me personally.
Same.
You know, kind of comfortably. TJ's up there, right? This isn't something. It's a battle of the two up there. Is Gojo versus what's that other guy? I forgot. Either way,
Sukuna.
Sukuna?
no.
Maharaga?
Oh, that too. Yeah.
mean,
I was
yeah.
thinking of of his boy.
Gato.
Yeah,
Gato?
Gato. There we go.
Yeah.
We go. Anyways, yeah. So I think he's been able to perform a lot. He's only been improving, right? You know, TJ's only been improving since the start, and I think that's a big thing, right? You know, how fast can you improve in this very quick league this time around? So hats off there, and then it definitely could be interchangeable at the top.
I have a question about this. We've been talking about how this Moby Dix team didn't play a match, right? They forfeited it. Meaning TJ
Yeah.
has 18 goals, second most goals in the entire C tier, just missing a whole entire series. Had he
Yeah.
played that series, you think your opinion
Might be ahead.
no
I
matter
mean,
what
I
it
averaged
changed?
1.64 goals a
Did
game.
I not state that is close? Qful's not like I said.
Yeah,
I
of
watched
course.
the games. There's a series missing. You watch Qful play. There is that conversation about Chewy. I think Dennis Rodman comparison is better because I would have been like, oh, who's the Scottie Pippen, right? Of these teams, and I think Preet Skillicam. That's Jordan Pippen, right? But as far as like TJ and Qful, you know, Qful is truly only performing as well. If it wasn't for Chewy, I would argue.
Exactly. Get this dude out of here. Get Qful out of here. I'm sorry. I love you, Qful. I vouched for him in the league during the draft. I vouched for him. I was like, oh man, this guy better get picked up. So,
All right. Well, that's
I love
your
you,
number
Qful.
2 picks. Here we go. Your number 1 picks. Give me a drum roll, please. Bang. The quad TJ.
Should have been a clean sweep. Golden selling.
Holy.
Yup.
Like I said, man.
Oh shit.
You were there.
Hey, man.
I mean,
Steph Curry could have been in the conference finals, but he didn't show up when it mattered.
It's
He
true.
got injured.
Just like the Avatar.
Mm.
That took me a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. We can put TJ on any team, C through A tier, and homie's gonna cook. Like,
Yeah, he'll probably be fine. He'll be just fine.
like Mr. Do It
He
All
won't
here.
be the worst.
Like, this
Yeah.
is you're probably somebody we should not have put in C tier.
It's all right. I'm okay with Smurfing a season.
Nah, he's still.
Nah, he
I don't
definitely
know
could.
about,
We
I don't know about
we
all
could
that.
I don't know,
we could
man.
swap him with some of the like
Some
bottom,
of them,
like
yeah.
16 of B, and I wouldn't have.
Okay,
a
that could happen. That could happen vice versa, bro. Every
fair.
single one, every
Could-
single tier has that.
Could totally, but I've been
Little unrelated. I think this is one of the best balancing because of the eye test and everything in the committees. But yes, you're gonna have slips. It's the first time around. You know,
Yeah.
it's who you have there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
not
TJ ain't that
worried
good.
about this unanimous agreement. Like it's fine to have one or two people that are clearly good picks in the tier. Like I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, so
Yeah, for
that's your C tier, everybody's opinionated one. So here is your complete aggregate ranking. So based on where everybody placed them, they got assigned. And would you look at that? TJ's on top, then Qful, Shuck, Skillcam, and Preets.
I think it's a pretty good aggregate, honestly. I didn't do my research, but I still think it's a pretty good aggregate.
I think your 3 through 5 is
change-
crazy.
So the big change,
3
like,
through 5 is crazy.
the only reason, like, okay, so let's talk about the 3 through 5 real quick. So because two people put Shuck at number 2, that's and Skillacam also like in that number 3, two people at number 3 there. That's kind of pushing them over where you would
Well, I was
be.
talking about
kind of,
Cars list.
Oh, Cars
talking about
list.
Cars
Oh,
list.
okay.
My
Okay.
fault.
I thought you meant like the
I was-
aggregate. I'm like,
No,
well,
not the
okay,
aggregate.
well,
I was talking
let's
about
talk
Cars
that.
3 through 5. I was like, holy fuck, dude.
And yeah, then Pre got
Those
enough
people are
mentions
crazy.
to squeak in there over some of the other mentions.
I don't mind Pre being there, to be honest. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
On me, Chad, on me.
As long as he's not above Skillcam, I'm good.
Hey, bless you, Justin.
Who is the most accurate
shit.
though?
TJ?
I mean,
Might be
I don't
TJ?
even have to say. I
But he's on
I
Pre.
would
Oh,
argue
wait,
TJ,
sorry,
but that's
sorry.
like-
I'm only missing
Yeah.
Shuck.
I mean, Goldman's only missing Shuck as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it might be.
And he's almost got. Nah, wait. I think
No,
Darty's most accurate.
the
maybe.
closest one would be Darty.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
hell
it's
yeah!
already-
Let's get it.
Goldman's is just out of order a little bit.
Wait, I'm surprised with the Tatra. Like, I know how this works, right? Like, you see a lot of these aggregate lists work, but I am surprised that even though there's 3 Tatras at the bottom, he doesn't slip in.
It would be like
higher.
he would
But
be like
he's
number
number
6.
three,
He'd
yeah.
be
Yeah, he's
number
number
6
six, yeah.
because
I
of his
see.
mentions.
Yeah.
And I did a little favoring towards people who were mentioned higher, just because there are 5 lists. So it would be like Shuck and Skillacam would be rated like 3.5, and Tocher would be rated like a flat 5, based on this aggregation. It does bias, like, you know, higher placements, but if you have like a stronger argument for something, like it's definitely people feel that like a number 2 is way more important pick on a best of 5 than a number 5 pick. So a consistent 5 is less likely to show up than some high variance picks like Shuck and Skillacam. Though Skillacam was pretty consistent across the board of being picks. But yeah, that's your C tier. You're gonna go ahead and move on to B tier.
This is where I'm probably
Let's
cooked.
see here.
Don't lie.
You're cooked? What the fuck?
I don't think I'm that cooked. Maybe I'm cooked.
Oh, I
don't
might
know.
not.
I
We'll
think
see.
This one
before
felt
we
tough.
even get
I
into
could not
it,
decide.
I think the top like 3 or top 2 are definitely non-negotiable. They're interchangeable, but they're non-negotiable.
I don't even remember who I put for 2.
But
I wanna shout out
the
Eric's
3 through
demos, by the
5s are
way.
going to be.
Yeah, 44 demos.
T Saban just told him to stop playing the fucking game and go for
And
demos.
just said
Like-
go for demos, bro. That's crazy.
Like he's averaging
Oh,
like
that's what's right.
100. He's averaging like 250 a game now, like
Yeah,
points a
Eric
game.
Get 44,
Like
bro.
he's just not playing the
yeah.
fucking game and he's just demoing people. And it's like, okay, sure, go off, King. If it's working, it's working. But like,
Fucking love you,
44
Eric.
is nuts,
Whatever.
dude.
Yeah, look, he's 20 ahead, bro. He's ahead
Yo,
by
y'all
20, dog.
Yeah, if you do nothing
Holy
but demo
shit.
people for 4 games straight, like I mean, you're
Bro,
gonna
he's
get a
the
lot of
GOAT. He's
demos.
the GOAT. He's the MJ of B tier. He's the number one.
Number 1 overall.
Overall.
But anyways,
Oh,
here are
man.
your number 5 picks. Pretty consistent. We got
Okay.
a few germs. Let's go
No
top
Wall's-
left
no
to
Wall's
bottom
cool.
right. I didn't center this image correctly, but that's fine.
It's all good,
TJ, what do you got for Eclipse?
So honestly, for Frog, I just feel like for what he was given for a team, with the
Mm,
dropout and stuff like that, I think he's been
Okay, that's
performing
fair.
very well considering the situation he's been in. I think
Yeah.
with the new pickup of Kiwa and Woofer and Frog, I think you will see Frog start to really show kind of the player he is, and I think he will cement himself in the top 5. I think.
Are we implying Sudoku was a problem? Was he? I don't actually know what happened with that team. I didn't even know Sudoku.
He has
He's a
was
crash
he
out.
had a negative
He
mental.
It's just crash out.
for it, man.
So,
He's a bona fide crash outer.
but yeah, I think with the
For
new
it.
team, I think you'll see Frogs, truly step into it,
Mhm.
step into his role, and you'll see him show out a little bit more.
Hopefully, in the name of my boy Sudoku.
Like, I mean, Sudoku, when he was like online and not in his head, like, he's actually pretty solid. But
Oh, he's great.
Yeah,
glass cannon.
I agree.
Yeah, it's on for it.
Yeah, and I could see, the Eric starting this journey of just target demoing
Mm.
Sudoku enough that he crashes out. Like,
Yeah.
how can you not have like glass cannon mental?
Well, I mean,
Fair enough.
starts in the head, bro. For the battle.
All right.
starts.
We actually agree on something for once, Car, but I would like to hear your point.
Dang it! Why can't you give your point?
Because I study.
Look, man, I don't. I haven't actually seen much of Germ play at all, but from just playing with him, or watching him play, in other places or playing against him even. I mean, Germ's a really solid player. I played against him in a 2v2 private match a while back. He ended up beating me, and it was honestly really surprising to see how fast he was and how consistent he was. I think he's gotten trioed up with a really good team. He has a really good pair on his side, and I think the three of them just make it work so well. And I think Germ is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page as you. You don't go 9-1 with no FF if you're not in the top 5. Like, everybody's got to be locked in for that. But yeah, so we'll skip over myself later. But yeah, no, pretty much on the same page. Germs had a huge impact as that kind of. He's not either. He doesn't lean any one direction of being like either super mechanical, super positionally that like his teammates might do. But he's there to be the glue that kind of holds everything together. And I honestly feel bad for Beans because he's got such cracked teammates that he barely sees any game time.
Yeah.
But that's because we're putting Germ on this list here. And if that's the third, only way to go is up. All right, no Waltz.
Yeah.
What you got, Gold Moon?
Yeah, I wanted to really test my ball knowledge, looking through a lot of the games, picking up recently to like this past week, just how they performed, and No Alt was one that I kept kind of paying attention to.
Mhm.
I think, comparatively, he was a star player before. I'd say about 2-3 seasons ago, whenever it was he came in, but he had a long break, so he's kind of kicking off the dust, and I think it's finally shining through. I think he's on the come up. That's why I have him at the bottom. He's definitely kind of setting himself up for success here, and especially with a great team.
I agree. No Walt's pretty good here. I
Yeah,
I can totally see it.
Top 5 for sure.
yeah, I think he's
Honorable
deserving
mention
of
for
it.
me.
Yeah, honorable.
I do have an honorable mention later, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But
I
I
have an
think
honorable
he'll be a
mention too.
happy person.
All right, Yoki, the firefight pick, definitely understandable, but let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Firefight, like he's really good for this tier. Like I know he was picked number 1 overall, right? He was picked number
Mhm.
1
Yeah.
Yeah.
overall, and like I, f- I feel so bad that he hasn't been before me at like that number 1 overall like level, but I still think he at least plays at this 5th spot because honestly he does get it done on the field. I just feel like he's just trying to get used to his teammates. Like they barely play; they can only play on
Mm.
Sundays together. So honestly, like I feel like Firefight is still individually a really good player. It's just that team wise, they only can play on Sundays, and it just
Yeah.
kind of sucks. They can't really like play a lot together. So
I mean, it is kind of showing they are 4-6.
yeah,
So man, it's hard for me to want, like, as much as I would like to put Firefight here, like the team performance does matter as much as I like it,
yeah.
but I couldn't be comfortable really putting it unless I had like super insider knowledge about certain things.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, dude, I think it comes down with Firefight. Like Firefight's just got to play his game. I think he's trying too hard to play around his teammates. I think Firefight needs to do his thing and make them play around him, and then it'll be a different team. But I think they're just approaching it the wrong way.
I like that take. I like that take. I think I'm down to move on after this because this is a
Hmm.
big thing that he mentioned to me personally, especially this past week. Days, I will continue to applaud him for his coaching, through and through. But they're trying a system right now, and I feel like Firefight's going that same route that I fell victim to last season, where you try so hard to fit a system that it ends up hurting your gameplay way more than it should. And it goes one of two ways, right? Do you come out an even better player because you finally push through it, or does it completely hurt your gameplay style? And now what made you great is now no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Interesting.
interesting. All I know is like they're all trying to play like super even, like they're not really trying to play for anybody. It's just like they're all trying to play like equally, like like slices of the pie, like like all thirds. But like I don't know if like what Carr said about playing for Firefight is the right way. I don't like. I'm not too sure about like what is the right way for them. But I just
It's
think Firefight's like
Yeah,
the
it's
way.
not necessarily playing around him. It's more playing with him. Like, you gotta
Oh,
play
playing with
on
him.
Firefight's level if you want to be successful. Like let Firefight do his thing and just replicate.
It's interesting that you say that.
Play on
Just later on my
Firefight's
list.
level. Firefight's teammates are Blue G and Scat, and you're saying
Yeah.
they're not performing?
I'm saying I think if y'all let Firefight do his thing and y'all are able to play around him in a sense of like it's more like playing with him, right? Firefight's one of those players. He has a great first man mentality. If you're able to capitalize on his aggressiveness or his aggression, and his speed and his ability to not be scared to jump for the ball, literally ever, I think it would take you such a long way, man. Like he provides so
Mm,
many offensive possibilities.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I can see that in Scat and like I feel like Luigi is more of a safe player. Scat,
Yeah.
I feel like also more of a safe player. So I guess I can see it in that way. Like they might have to work a little bit more towards his play style
Just
to
get in there,
accommodate.
Chad. Just get in
Just
there.
fucking send it.
Get in there, bro.
All
Right,
right,
bro.
just like
Yeah.
we're sending our number 4 picks. We've got
Oh.
some Fast Mad Cow
That's Matt Cow,
mentions.
that's
Wait a
interesting.
minute. Yo,
Oh,
wait,
wow.
this was supposed to be my honorable mention. Hold on, I thought I put it someone else here.
What the fuck?
Oh shit.
Look, I mean, I don't think you cannot put the entire Night Stalkers S tier B
Whoa,
tier,
whoa.
because we rated them at S tier last
Oh,
week
gotcha.
for B tier, and you can't not put all the players on Night Stalkers and have a coherent list. I think so. It's just where do you prefer Fast Mad Cow to be here? So 2 people putting him here. I could totally agree with that. Positionally, probably the best positional player in the tier. But yeah, what do you guys think about it? Putting Fast Mad Cow here, since we're talking about
Look,
him.
I I think I speak for myself and Justin when I say Fast Magical has definitely been working his ass off about it, and I think both of our opinions from where he was at prior has definitely changed now. I think proven himself to be a lot better of a player than we thought. I mean, recently talking to him, he's been working really hard with his mechanics and whatnot. So I'm super hyped to see what comes out of him continuing on into the season.
Is that everything, Justin? Or
Yeah,
said?
no, I think I'm gonna word this like I did when I talked about Goose last season. Funnier. Um, Mad Cow's the worst player on his team. No, but he is just he's surrounded by great people that allow him to make the mistakes he can make, and flourish in the strengths that he has. He's a positional demon, right? He knows where to be, knows how to put his car in the spot, and it's such a big thing to just be patient in this game, especially nobody, not even S tier, is as fast as what you think it is. It doesn't have to be all this rush around. You need to hit 16, 1700, 1500 average every single game. It's like, no, you got to just play the ball, play the positioning, and Mad Cow plays that perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's move back real quick. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Talk to me, TJ.
TJ.
You got No Walt up here. Good mention. What puts him at number 4 for you?
I mean, honestly, for me, it was just like I don't know too much about BT. I don't like sit there and scope out all the games or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty much just numbers for me.
Just
Team
like
was
me,
solid.
bro.
No Walt was doing no Walt's doing the best on the team. Team's solid. It felt hard to look at that team that's not shitting the bed and having a solid player on their team, not having be mentioned on the list. To be honest.
Yeah, totally fair.
Hmm.
Just solid reason overall. I don't have any problems with it. Germ in 4th for you, Yoki.
Oh yeah, like because he's on the Night Stalkers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, if I had to rank them, I think it was
It's Dre, Fast
it was
Mad Cow,
Dre,
Germ,
Fast Mad
and
Cow,
Beans
Germ.
2K.
Yeah,
Granted,
like if
Beans
I
has
had to
played
rank
2
them,
games.
oh well. So besides
So
him,
Let's go Beans!
Beans is out of the conversation, unfortunately.
sadly,
Free beans,
but
free beans.
Sosa made a great team this season. Dre, I mean, like Germ, he's definitely like, in my opinion, the second best on the team. Um, he really like he really got better. I'm not gonna lie. Like I remember watching his first games in the combines, and I was like, okay. Like I don't know why people are hyping him up, but then like I watched his games like during the season, I'm like, oh shit, okay. Like I get why like people like wanted him. And yeah, they really deserve their number 1 spot. They're
Mhm.
fucking goated.
They've put in the work.
God damn.
Um,
Yeah, the Ryan, by the way, Darty, is one of my honorable mentions.
yep.
I love the Ryan. He's great.
While
Oh,
Me
so
too,
man.
me too.
yeah, I wanted to
Ryan.
mention him because he has been really, really hungry for like the win, the carry. He's averaging 405 a game, 1.08 goals. Like he is grinding for this, and he wants to prove that he's wants to get to A tier material. And I see the effort, I see the talk. If he can keep his cool and work on his mental a little bit, I think he's absolutely that guy for B tier right now to be one of the people that
Yeah.
is in contention for moving up. But he's got to continue what he's doing and then also improve a little bit more on that mental side. But other than that, I think should be worth mentioning in the top 5.
Okay. Yeah,
I
fair
have a new
enough. I
mention
agree.
now, chat.
Oh, who's the new
I've come
mention?
up with a new one. Dude, my mention's Chow, bro. Like, if you watch
Okay.
the games that the Nessies play without Chow, dude, it's absolutely horrendous. I mean, last night, whenever they played, it was bad. I was talking to Fishy while they were playing, and Fishy was DMing. He was like, yeah, dude, they're just not playing good. Last week, I mean, they got swept. Chow was doing his best to get that win. You see him top of the leaderboard every single game. And he couldn't get it. It seems like Chow is really the missing piece for that team. I think Chow is one of the most underrated players in the whole entire league. And personally, I cannot stand for it. I think Chow's the GOAT. I think Chow's a phenomenal player. I think he definitely deserves some recognition.
Definitely
Is
one
he
of
on
the
your
best disruptors in the entire B tier. Was in contention for most demos for multiple seasons. I think actually, KP took it away. He was second.
Yeah, KP, yeah.
But like one of the best disruptors, and if you have that on your team, like you just open up the possibilities for your second and third man, whoever they might be. Like so, definitely a honorable mention, but I still think it's outside of top 5 though.
Yeah, I didn't have him there.
Yeah.
I didn't have him there. I do love Chow though. Shout out to Chow.
All right, then
Yeah,
let's
Chow
go
is
into
good.
your number 3s. Little similar names here. We do have the new addition of Craig on car. But TJ, I'd love to hear what you have to say about the Ryan.
Honestly, same kind of story. For the most part. I mean, I've also played with Ryan a bunch.
That's fair.
Yeah, obviously he can get a little feisty, but
Mhm.
he definitely like if I'm put in a situation against him, he's definitely a player that I'd be scared to be up against. For sure. His shooting accuracy, his ability to just also run through, get demos. He also does a great job, disrupting the play on top of being able to finish the passes, finish the shots. And being on one of the second best team in my opinion in B tier. I think he deserves the spot.
Yep. All right. That's basically what I said. No notes. Craig, a good mention here.
Listen, man, as much as I dog on Craig in the League Gen chat, Craig gave me a run for my money going into that game against King Kong last week. Groovy, Zorny, and Craig, I mean, we took it all the way to Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Craig played outstandingly in that series. He held his own very well. I think he definitely deserves to be in this talk for sure. I don't know if y'all maybe have him higher or something, but I mean, Craig, phenomenal player. Super proud of what he's done. He's doing great, and I'm hoping he goes into playoffs and he keeps it up.
Okay.
No problems with that. Goldman, Germ. The eye test
I think
working
it's
for you.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's been kind of fun watching I kind of familiarize myself with a lot of A and S, so this was kind of the most like look around, see what's going on. What are the stats showing? I think even though Germ has the second most goals right now, is he top 2? Not yet for me personally, but I mean, dude, the freaking that team, man, and Germ's just succeeding well and well over and over. And just kind of, I mean, his shot placement, man, for a B tier, man, is way better than Cars. Like that's the crazy part. Like the kind of abilities he has.
Yo,
No, but no, he sets himself up really well with this team.
I mean, Germ didn't lose to a C tier sub up, so
listen, man, it's not my fault. I swear.
Somebody gotta take fault, brother.
Whatever, Chad. Whatever. That was a week ago. That was 2 weeks ago. We can move on now.
It still matters.
It's a whole pay period, chat.
All right, Yoki, what
On
you
to
got
the
with
next.
Blue G? I definitely want to put her at like an honorable mention, but I'd love to see why she's in your top 5.
So I think she's around here for B tier, especially because in my opinion, I think out of Firefight, Scat, like their whole team, she definitely has the best game sense. I don't know about mechanics though. I don't really like watch them like mechanically and that kind of stuff, but like positionally, I feel like whenever she needs to play safe, she plays safe. Whenever she really needs to like, not as aggressive as Firefight, like she definitely like tempers herself. Like I feel like she does play more passive, like I said before. But I think she does make the more like statistically better decision.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this is a bit recency bias. This is a bit recent. Like this is heavy. She did play in S tier and won.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say.
yeah, but how's their B tier doing?
Their B tier.
Oh, like I said, they only practice ranked on one day for like 2 hours.
I know
so
the
that's all
B
I
tier
gotta
is
say.
4 and
Wait,
6.
I gotta
No,
say.
B tier top
All I gotta
5.
say.
I'm not talking about
I
it.
understand
They're
that
4 and
argument.
6. They're 4 and 6 with 2 hours of practice per week. Maybe
I mean,
maybe
yeah,
not
but
even 2.
Results
Maybe
do
even
matter
1.
though.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
say
this
that.
is individual. This is individual play.
That's fair. That's fair. You
I'm
can be
saying,
as
Bluesy-
greedy as you
Bluesy-
want.
But
Yeah,
two top
Bluesy's-
fives on a team that's
I don't
not
know,
even
though.
500.
If we were doing a team tier list here, they might be around like C ish. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think my only argument for this is, well, I have two different ones. First off, with you talking about, they can only practice for so long a week. I mean, I have a very similar case within my own team. Us only
Yeah.
being able to play for about an hour on Saturdays and on Sundays, and Sundays that being our match day.
Yeah.
And we're still able to find success throughout it, even in a more difficult tier. But even furthermore, Blue G was one of those players that we thought would come into B tier and absolutely just steal it from everybody. And to see her not being able to do that, I think for me, I can't put Blue G high on this list, even though she is talented, simply because she's underperforming to the standard that I held for her prior to the season beginning.
Okay. All right. I do see where you're coming from. Like
Mhm.
honestly, like I can agree with it. Like I have no argument against it. I just think individually.
I get it.
should
Yeah,
be
I
there.
get why she's up there.
The team thing, it kind of sucks. What's happening? It's just like damn.
Yeah. Like I
I mean, nobody expected it.
if
Yeah,
Wraiths was
yeah.
second in the league right now, I would absolutely have Blue G on my list, but I'd need to see like player impact and to be seeing games
Right, yeah.
that do it. I mean, that's basically why I put Fast Mad Cow here.
For sure.
Like
Mhm.
just I value individual skills and specialties a little bit more than being average, not necessarily average, but like an all-rounder. Where I see
Right,
that
I
like
think
Germ
so.
is the all-rounder of the team. Fast Mad Cow is, the positional demon. So that's why I would just have him here. But that is your number 3 picks.
Yeah, I'm interested in the 2 and 1,
Number
especially in the 2.
A lot of the same picks, though.
Very nice, very nice.
I think it's probably just interchangeably Dre Rectals.
You flipped
I-
mine. I had Dre second.
Did I?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Did I
I
type that
really
in
don't think
wrong?
it is. I think Rec is 100% the number one.
Oh, I
think-
Yeah.
typed it in wrong. Yeah, no, that you're
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. Hey.
My bad,
my bad.
That ain't it. That ain't it.
Like,
Especially after
like-
playing with him this last week, bro. He sucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh god.
I think. Is it okay if I go first here?
Sure.
No.
Yeah, go.
Cool. I think with Dre, he's the game changer, right? He's gonna be the player who's gonna determine whether the team's gonna win or whether the team's gonna lose. But he's also one of those players you can always count on. His mechanical abilities are undoubtedly probably the best in the tier. He has such a good, strong offense. It's actually it's outstanding. Like huge props to him. And huge props to his team as well for being able to play so well around that. I mean, Dre doesn't only, score goals, but he also, passes the ball. He has 23 assists, man. The next person's 9. Like, Dre is insane on offense. And we can't
That's kinda
overlook
wild.
that. We cannot overlook that.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
totally.
that's my take.
I think the only let's hear the Rectals number Rectals number 2 pick Yoki, because technically Goldman
Yeah.
also put Dre at number 2.
Yeah, like so I agree with all you guys that like they're pretty much interchangeable. But what set like Dre apart was like the final kick in the coffin was just or kick in the bucket is the win rate. Dre just
That's
wins
fair.
more.
That's fair. Totally fair.
And that's just how it goes. Like at the end, like their stats are pretty like monstrous, so I couldn't really give it to them in either way, like stats wise. So I was like, well, fuck, who won more? I was like, shit, like
I'm
I
gonna
guess
get you
Dre.
here, Yoki,
Like,
immediately. I'm gonna get you here
Yeah.
immediately. All right, you said
Yeah.
you putting Rectals in, right, and Dre number 1 because it's about the wins. Then why is Blue G in your top 3?
Ooh.
Oh, because
If the wins
bro.
matter, why is Blue G? I love
I
Blue
have
G.
Rectals
I
and Dre
love
because they're
Firefight.
better
Firefigh's my honorable.
statistically,
Individually,
Yeah.
individually, Rectals does what Dre does, but faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
pretty. That's a
Straight up.
pretty accurate statement.
Yeah,
No,
but it
I think
doesn't
Dre's
mean, like,
definitely a bit
it's
more
right.
mechanical, but
Right.
like Rectals does like 80% of Dre's mechanics, but faster.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rec's simply up here just because Rec is able to do both, right?
Yeah.
Dre, 23 assists. Rectals may have 21 goals. Dre only with 11, but Dre has 23 assists and Rectal's there with 8. So their offensive presence really is, pretty equivalent. But when you're looking, towards the defensive side, you don't even see Dre on this list. But Rectal's 25 saves. I mean, Rectal's is doing it all. He's all around B tier. That is the guy that you want on your team if you want to sit there, eat popcorn, and lay your feet back.
Yeah, Rectal statistically is just a beast.
I can see it for sure. Yeah, I can see it for sure. I still think Dre's better. I don't know. I don't know if like that whole thing about like him doing 80% of his mechanics like faster, like maybe, but that doesn't mean like Dre couldn't do it if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like he just plays the way he wants to play. I don't think he couldn't do it if he wanted to. Like if he did.
And
to surprise of nobody, here's the first picks. Aside from Goldman's, I swapped his on.
Oh yeah. Goldman just swapped that.
But otherwise, it was just the inverse of picking Dre second.
Yeah,
it's okay. The aggregate fixes it.
Sorry, I think Dre's just better in a competitive scene though. Like maybe not for the tier, but I think if we're putting Dre in a higher up lobby, I think Dre performs better simply because he rotates better. He's better game sense in my opinion. Rectal is kind of just like go. I think
I think you have it swapped because like talking with Fast Mad Cow, their number one problem has been getting Dre on the same page with the game sense and the game plan. Because it's not going to be the mechanics. So the problem is going to be the positioning. So Rectals, you can slot on pretty much any team, and he'll at least know what to do. You could put Dre in certain lobbies, and I think that he would definitely struggle with some of the speed and aggression that the higher tiers would be able to put out. Where Rectals is still going to consistently get his plays and get the attention of the other team. He's not going to be lost in higher lobbies, and that's why I would just put Rectals higher than Dre here. But I mean, I still have to put the entire B tier of Night Stalkers on my top 5 because it's like that they're 9-1 with no FF, dude. It's just nasty.
Oh yeah, they're definitely nasty, playing crazy.
Wait, 9-1.
Yeah, they've won 9 games and lost 1.
They've lost 2.
It says 2 on there, but I went back and looked at it.
Nessie's took 2 games off of them and went to game 5.
I have on my sheet that they went on. Did it go into game 5? No, I'm looking at S tier.
I don't know if they uploaded it wrong, but I know for sure it went to game 5. I was watching.
I see it on
the whole time.
On week 4.
Yeah.
C tier. Nessie's played Jormungandr week 4.
Yeah.
We're talking about Night Stalkers.
Wait, what? No, I'm talking
about I'm looking
Rectals.
at B tier. I'm crazy.
Oh, I'm talking about the wrong team. Keep it going. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
Everybody's wrong.
All right. And your aggregate for B tier, gonna be pretty consistent for the top 2 at least, is bang. Rectals, Dre, Fast Mad Cow, the Ryan, and Germ.
That's fair. Fair enough.
I think that's a really good list.
Yeah.
Chat.
Holy shit, Darty's right on.
I'm like perfect.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I didn't plan that ahead of time. I swear to God. I made these aggregates after I already.
He's the house.
I'm not a cheater. I'm not the house. I just know B tier ball.
Fair enough.
I look at them and I help the boys. Like I got Fast Mad Cow on like rotation, on playing certain rotation styles, and they're just absolutely crushing it. So give me that B tier knowledge.
All
right.
Goated.
Here comes the hot takes. Let's get it. A tier. A tier time.
Fucking see it.
Bang. Oh god, that's horribly cropped.
Oh.
Why the hell is it so badly cropped? Hold on, I'm gonna adjust that.
Yeah, this might be
Oh, don't you start. Don't you start.
This fucking guy, bruv.
Look, man, I can start if you want.
Go ahead. Make your case.
Listen, man. I called a certain player out last cast, and guess what happened? But he got straight. No, he didn't. Listen,
you went
we
to
won game 5. We won game 5.
five.
We did have Spec sub in the first game and the second
Yeah,
game.
it was a
Spec did win the
0-0,
second.
bro. Best of 3.
Yeah, best of 3. We did end up winning. All right, but to be fair, this is the best team in all of A tier that we beat, and the second best team in A tier currently, King Kong. We also beat them, which they did have a sub. But honest to God, I really don't think Broke Boy and Craig
Bro,
are
do you
that.
even
I
play
think they're
like full
interchangeable.
rosters? Like, what is this Mickey bracket you're getting?
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah,
like,
bro, I know.
This guy's
Well, no,
going
I
through
mean,
all the
even-
injuries.
well, even Moby Dix had to play like without Trickster like two series in a row. Like, it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
crazy. Like, a lot of people aren't really showing up. But
No,
All
but
I'm saying is that I beat Trickster Article Thailands this last
yeah,
week.
but I think, funnily
Yes,
enough,
sir.
I think that team's weaker with Trickster.
Finally?
Funnily, that's
enough.
a word. Funnily.
Funnily enough.
Anyways,
Funny.
look, I put myself here. I've put myself here because I think I've made a drastic change in how I played beginning of
Self-glaze,
season to how I
self-glaze.
play now. I think
I
a
see no
big
diff.
reasoning for that is a Fishy's coaching session. First of all, helps me a lot, and then moving on with Ryan just being there to be able to tell me like, hey, don't do this or do more of this. I think for me to be able to adapt so quickly and during the game, the way we turned around our series against King Kong, I don't know. I think I put myself here. I think a lot of the other players haven't shown me too much. At least the players that I've played against. I don't have any information on Night Stalkers, but I mean, win-loss games, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Consistent geo picks. I'd love to hear everybody's reasoning. Let's start with you, TJ.
I mean, honestly, I don't know too much about A tier except that I beat Karn. That's all. That's all I really know. You know,
Damn.
That's
In
crazy.
a way, chat.
to be honest. And you know, when I couldn't put anybody on that squad in top 5 just because the day we played them, none of them were that scary. So I had to fill in some slots. And I just felt like looking at the stats and looking at everything, you know, Geo deserves to be top 5. Just based off his squad's performance in his own.
Yeah, do you feel kind of similarly, Yoki?
I put Gio here because he really impressed me. He's really good on defense like normal. Okay, like last season, right?
Mhm.
He's great on defense like last season. However, what changed this season is he's a lot more potent on offense, and I'm not too sure if it's just because he meshes well with Mateo and Enzo.
Mhm.
But like Enzo's passing, like between Mateo and Gio, is like really good.
Yeah.
And like I feel like Gio being able to be aggressive with his team has really like changed my opinion about him. Like I think he's a great player this season. Way better than last season.
Mm-hmm.
Way better.
I'm kind of in a similar boat. I was always kind of thinking highly of Gio because I value defensive play a little bit more than offensive play. Because not losing the game is a pretty solid trait to have. And Gio, you know, with what is he at? I have it up here. How many saves does he have? Where is it? 24. Yeah, just solid. Really think that, you know, he makes that Jormungandr team. I mean, obviously Mateo's probably the best player on that team, and we'll probably get to him later. But I think it doesn't work without a Geo. And I know Enzo's putting in a lot of work for that team, but I still think that, you know, you'd have to have Geo to balance it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Gold Moon with the Mountain Drew pick.
Yeah,
Would
this
love
was
to hear
interesting.
this.
Top 5 in the entire A tier. I don't know.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
All right, first things first. I'm already spoil it. Car, you're only an honorable mention for me personally. You're not top 5, but
the stats don't lie though.
I ain't gonna say it's bad that you put yourself top 5, man. That's the kind of ego I like. Mountain Drew, man, he in a team that needs that consistent second person. He definitely shows up and shows out when he needs to. And it's allowed him to kind of take a new form that he hasn't been used to. You know, I would say like he can very much fill in that number 1 role a lot of the times. Here, you know, you got Carr, you got Ryan on the team, so he's got to fill in around. I think he's probably the best second man on that team. And positionally, he plays it well. I've played plenty of scrims against him, and the common thing I always say is, "Why the hell are you already there?" And it annoys me, and you know, you just have to lock in a little bit more. But yeah, I think he's really proven himself here on a team that always squeezes it out there at the end.
I like it. I like it.
I just need to see them play a roster that's not on some Mickey sub bracket, and then we can talk.
Hey, bro, I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, bro. I'll see you there.
Say
Excited
less.
for it. Anyways, going into number 4s now. Little bit of diversity here. I think everybody. Ooh, we do have matching ignited drips. Mountain Drew, Mateo. I think that's a low Mateo personally, but let's get into
I
it.
rate it honestly.
Fuck it.
Let's start with the matches real quick. TJ, what you got on ignited? I have my opinions, but I'd love to hear yours.
I mean, personally, my opinion, I played with Nighty Dirt just like in passing a couple of times.
Mhm.
Super chill guy, first off, you know.
Oh yeah,
He's a homie, for sure. But you know, team's not performing great, but Ignited Drip individually is doing very solid. And I know they performed this last weekend pretty well, so I think they have nowhere to go but up from where they were. And I think I think Ignited Drip definitely can solidify and move up in this list even.
Mhm.
Moving on into the season. So I think he deserves a spot on the list somewhere, and I think he definitely could move up even if later on.
And this me putting him on this list here is my warning to y'all to say I taught him threes. I paid for the coaching sessions.
Right.
He's locked in with it now, and
Fuck yeah.
I was telling y'all, like when we were starting the season, it took us a while to get there, and we were gonna be that team was gonna have to work extremely hard to make it happen. But the rotations, the touches, like everything, we have cleaned it and finessed it, and I'm super excited for the rest of this season. And I think like right now, I have to evaluate it kind of objectively. Like we are 4-7, we haven't been doing good. Because we've had to have so much time figuring out how we want to play. Because I have essentially like 2 ignited drips where neither of them really knew threes coming into the season, and so that caused an insane amount of problems with double commits, miscommunications between where players should be. And now I'm telling y'all, we've figured it out, and we're coming for a playoff spot, and we're coming for the title.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey man, I hope so. I honestly, I hope that team does succeed, knowing that they've had, the problems that they've had. I mean, we're going 1-6 last week.
We were.
Yeah, and I mean that was a team that we said, at the very beginning, that team could be really good if they, put in the work and they figure this stuff out. So I'm hoping that's what ended up happening. If you can squeeze into that playoff spot and not take mine, I'm 100% fine with it.
That's totally fair. All right, Mountain Drew, Glazer teammate, what you got, Car?
Look, man, Drew had a problem, going into that first preseason match against Yoki's team, with taking too much time. In B tier, you're allowed so much time to be able to do whatever you want. Last season, especially. But to see his adjustments, coming from B tier into A tier, I mean, Drew is a whole entire different player. I think, us just being able to talk to him, tell him what he's doing wrong, and him being able to, correct it so quickly. It's actually, it's crazy to see the improvement that this guy has had. I mean, he's playing better than I am, and I'm an egoist, but nah, Drew's a great player, a great teammate, keeps the vibes high, plays really solid. I think, Drew has a high capability of being, one of the first picks going into next season A tier if, he keeps doing what he's doing, keeps playing his game.
Yeah, love to hear it. Now, number 4, Mateo. I think this is probably a hot take compared to everybody's lists. So, what do you got for that, Goldman?
There's no denying that he's a great player. But I'm gonna keep it a $150, man. You're not giving me the results that I'm looking for in someone that's supposed to be the almighty best player, right? And I get the team part of it, right?
Yeah, they've had a lot of subs, unfortunately.
The whole thing and a lot of this stuff. Yeah. But he himself, comparatively, to as you start to see my list unfold, you start to understand just where I'm coming from. You can't look at this as I'm saying Mateo is bad. It's just there's players that are better. They're right now they're just performing into this week 4 And now we're going into this, this week 5. We're almost done with the season. There's just players who are performing at a better rate than him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree too. Being the team that ended up taking him down, getting their first loss. I mean, Mateo just seemed like he was playing, not completely on his game. But I don't think it was necessarily an off day for him. I just think that Mateo's not as scary as everybody said. Like I said, last podcast. And I think as A tier starts to keep on playing and learning to play with their teams, and kind of understanding the game a little bit more over time, Mateo's just going to constantly get shut down. I think that he was good at the beginning. I think he's going to become somewhere in the higher middle ground area.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
shit.
not seeing anything crazy here, but I don't know. It went to game 5, giving him his first loss. I don't know. I like if it's 3-2 the other way, it doesn't change my opinion. I still think he has the best mind of A tier personally. But I can understand, from a performance standpoint, he's not what you expected. But individually, I think he's there.
He's definitely great. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but like I said, you're gonna see the list that I'm whipping out here, and just there's players that are just doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And Yoki, you're seeing the light of how great Fuzzle is as a teammate, just to be around and be on a team with him. I got to enjoy that last season, but tell me why he's in your top 5 though.
Well, I just want to say one thing. I think I'm just out of the fucking loop when it comes to Mountain Dew. I think I'm like, I think I'm like,
low-key, I think I
out
am
of the
too.
loop with Mountain Dew. Like, I think I'm just like somewhere far away when it comes to Mountain Dew. Like, looking at these stats on the board, like the stats don't lie. Like, he's performing really well. I just can't wait to play you guys again, I guess. Like,
I'm so hyped.
What was
I'm so
it?
hyped.
Is it a week?
We're in week 6. Week 6 on
Okay,
stream,
yeah.
right, Artie?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
so
week
like
6 on stream again.
I can't wait to see his improvement. You know what I'm saying? Like, comparatively to the preseason. So I'm excited for that. And then hopefully maybe I'll have Mountain Dew like way higher in my mind. But I have Fuzzle here though, because I still think he's like one of the smartest people in the A tier. I think, like I said before, the record is unfortunate for Fuzzle. Like, I feel like him and Zoffy just can't get on the same wavelength.
Page, yeah. That's what I was dealing with NJ in like our rotations, but
yeah, but at least Fuzzle knows how to do it. I feel like Zoffy just likes to play more like, well, I feel like he likes to play like I don't want to say like, I guess like Blue G in a way, where it's like more solid, doesn't want to take risks, that kind of stuff. Like, he doesn't like taking risks, which I understand. I understand why. But Fuzzle does want us to play like more aggressive, and I do too. But it's just Zoffy. He gets a little scared sometimes, which I understand. I get it. Like, sometimes it just looks scary. Yeah, he's just a shy boy.
He's a shy guy, Chad.
Yeah, like, it's all good. But Fuzzle, he has really good mechanics, like fundamental mechanics, not like super mechy stuff. Although he's weirdly good at mustying in the air.
Yeah, he is. He's really good at that.
He's
Off
really
the wall
good,
musty is pretty sick.
Yeah, like I'm just like, okay, like that's just your goat mechanic, but yeah, like I mean, if you see some of the stats here, I mean, he saves a lot, he scores a lot. I like him. He's really fucking cool to hang out with. Like, I also like the way he talks in game. Sometimes he says like, "Yo, we gotta stop this," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah,
all right. Like, okay. But even if we try to like listen to him, the double commits just end us so badly. It's just so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really hard to get on the same page.
Like, I mean,
oh my goodness, our defense is literally cut in half, bro. Because like Zoffy and Fuzzle, like, I'm not saying it's either one of their faults. Like, I'm not saying like it's specifically one person, but them double committing a lot like kind of has their defense, and then like it's just like Zoffy, just for some reason, he says he can't read Fuzzle. I'm like, oh, okay.
Open your eyes.
Cool.
That's a really rough statement to try and deal with.
So I was kind of like, whatever. But I think Fuzzle's top 5 for sure. Like,
Definitely
really
a
talented.
solid
Love that
argument.
guy.
I don't think I have him on my list personally, but I would
Mhm.
put him at like number 6 if I had to put him somewhere.
Fair enough. I can see it.
But yeah, that's your number 4 picks. Let's get into number 3. So we got
Oh
Oh,
shit!
TJ's
Yo,
Fuzzle
some
at 3? Yeah.
consistency.
Oh yeah, I got Car at 3, man.
That's a
Type shit. It's what you
huge
like to
question
see.
mark for me.
I got Car at 3, man.
That's a missing ping. I'm spamming that one. All right, let's start with. I haven't
In the
heard
jungle,
anything
bro.
from you. I haven't heard anything from you, TJ, in a little bit. Let me
Oh
hear
yeah.
about this Fuzzle pick. Is it kind of similar
Honestly,
to what
I
Yoki's
think it's
saying?
more of like a mental image I have of Fuzzle because I don't know Fuzzle at all. I've never met him,
Hmm,
never talked to the
Oh.
guy. But every time he's brought up, bro, dude's just glazed.
that's
I know
fair.
the
That's
team's not
totally
performing
fair.
well, but like, dude is just permanently glazed. I feel like whenever I'm talking and nobody has a problem with him, so I was just like, you know what? I feel like he deserves a spot, and
Mhm.
I don't know A tier that well, so I was like, fuck it, we ball, and Fuzzle's 3.
Fair enough,
This
man.
this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
fair enough. Fair. I like it.
Super valid. Anyways, moving on. We've got some of the groovy picks here. Again, I hate it. I agree with Carr, but I think groovy is the reason that King Kong is currently what 8-4.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Yeah,
I mean,
they're 8-4.
Yeah.
I think it's groovy by far. But I mean, groovy does need 2 solid people to play with. But I think groovy just every time he touches the ball, it's a great thing to happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, playing scrims with Groovy. I mean, dude's just such a vibe. Like his attitude towards the game. He's just so
Yeah,
chill,
sure.
dude. I mean, I rated him pretty low, coming into the season, but after playing against him, after playing with him, I mean, Groovy's really solid. I love Groovy. He's great. Little banter in League Gen, but nah, Groovy's a phenomenal player. Leading his team in the right way. I'm hoping I get to play them in playoffs or even in the grand finals or something like that. I think it would be one banger of a series.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I guess-
Zorny, the
Yeah, bro.
teammate
Yeah.
of Groovy. What you got, Goldmoon?
Yeah, I mean, like I really love this league right now because it's consistent, and to have a great team, you need 2 people every time. It's because that third person can have their off days, but as long as you have 2 consistent players, you're just gonna perform as a team, right? I think back to like C tier with Tatra. Tatra's great. He's a great player, but I can't off the top of my head think of who's helping him support through consistency there, right? Mateo, same thing. There's you hear Gio and what's the third player? I'm not doing that on purpose.
Enzo.
Big boy.
Enzo.
Oh, sorry.
You know,
Only played
that's
one
think about the
series.
other
yeah,
I think.
but that's just like that's not to say Gio's bad. He's not there all the time. He's not there to play every single time. He's not there to show up for the practices or anything like that. Mateo's a great player. He doesn't have that second guy. So bringing it all around, Zorny, man, he has been killing it on this King Kong roster with Groovy. Taking that one spot. Shout out to Groovy. He's really shining through. And Zordy, man, another player just like Noel. I kind of associated them together on like having that break, and they're coming through now, performing incredibly well. He's got second most goals in the entire league. You know, it's a great turnaround for him. I'm happy for him. He's performing
Yeah.
to a standard that I expected, but everyone else is noticing. So just it's a great play there for him.
I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
looking at the
Yeah, I
field
was
of goals,
confused about
though,
that.
everybody's within like 3 goals, and then Groovy's just
Oh.
above everybody. So,
Right.
I mean,
By
I
3 goals.
yeah. So, like,
Well, like
if you can see
yeah.
the top 10 are all within 3 goals, and then there's some guy who's +3 on everybody, clearly that guy's doing the thing right. But then, I mean, if it's his teammate, we love to see it. But I think that kind of just would love to. I definitely agree. He's probably a top 5.
Yeah.
But
you stare at the assist too, for 2 in the
yeah,
assist.
I mean, that's
leading 2
fair.
above it, and his teammates following up. It's a lot.
It is a lot to do.
I think Zorny for me would definitely be an honorable mention. Keep in mind, guys, this is the 18th pick of A tier. All right, this guy was the dead last pick of A tier, and he's showing up like crazy. And when we were playing against them, that was the guy that we were like, "Oh shit, Zorny's on the ball." Like, he was definitely best performing on that team. Whenever with my experience, I didn't put him on my list, but I think he's very very solid, and I 100% understand why you'd put him at 3. I think it's completely reasonable.
All right, let's see your car glaze, Yoki.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I mean,
Are
like,
we opening the donut shop?
it's weird that like I don't know, like I guess for Carr, like I feel like he has such a higher ceiling than Mountain Dew. Like when I play against him, like it feels like Carr does so much more than Mountain Dew. But like I said, I'm like over here with Mountain Dew. Okay, I'm off like in space about him. So I want to see more like from them. But like from my experience, like and watching Carr play, like I feel like he has such a higher ceiling, and like as long as he's not trolling, like he's basically playing at like a top A-tier level. So like I don't know. It's just like that simple. I just feel like
I mean, I just see Carr there at number
yeah.
3, and I think about the people that are not on your list already. And so that makes me think like, okay, well, what about Groovy? What about Zorny? What about Ryan? What about
I could talk
Mateo?
about I could talk about Groovy and
What
Zorani real
about
quick.
Fuzzle? Well, I mean, Fuzzle's there, but
I think individually they're not better than these than like the top 5. But I think they work so well together, especially with Broke Boy.
Mhm.
I know like I think it was Gomu saying that like it shouldn't matter what the third is, but I feel like Broke Boy is such a good fit for them.
yeah,
Like Broke Boy just like
I feel like it's a
plays so
team
well
of,
with them. It's
and
like such good chemistry.
Bass flamed me for it because he's taking it not how I'm intending to say it. But when I
Oh.
say that that team doesn't lean aggressive or defensive, they lean kind of all around. And
Yeah.
I think I said on stream, quote unquote, average that he's been flaming me for. I meant that, and hey, they don't lean defensive or offensive. They
Right.
just are a
Yeah.
solid team.
Yeah,
And
and it
that's what I
works.
mean. Yeah, and that's why
It
it works.
fucking
It works
works.
great. Zorny's
They're never
just
on
a
a back
touch
heel.
mechanical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they move the ball, put it in the net. That's what they do.
Yeah. They play as a cohesive team.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like good players. None of them are bad. They're all good for A tier. I just don't know if they're all like top 5 though, like in that area. But like they're good. Like as a team, I rank them like really high A. Possibly S if they win against if they keep winning like 3-0.
Yeah, if
Like
they
these next
keep winning,
seasons,
obviously,
probably
yeah, they're going to be
I'm gonna have them in
obviously the
S.
best. But
They're fucking
I
goated.
don't know. We'll have to see how these next 2 weeks play out because
Mm.
people been grinding. I know
Yeah.
some of the lower ranked teams are really grinding their ass off. I mean, mostly just you and
Yeah.
I, really
I
trying
see
to
them in
make
the
it
fucking
work.
channels. I see them
Yeah,
in the channels, bro. I'm like, holy shit.
yeah.
It was going hard. Which I like to see. It's
But
awesome.
yeah, that's our number 3s. Going on to our number 2s. Bit of consistency. We got some mats in there, some groovy picks. Everybody's been glazing groovy a little bit. Having some good picks there, and I like that groovy Zorny combo. I feel like we're starting to get in the personal preference territory as things are starting to get a little interchangeable. TJ, I would love to hear what you have to say about groovy.
Honestly just kind of a repeat story for me around A tier. Like I was so lost in A tier, everything's so close. It's pretty chalk for me mentally. Like I don't know the guys in A tier. So like when I go and look and like all the stats are like so close, like on the top end, I'm just like, don't fucking know.
That's fair. I mean,
So
you're doing a pretty
you know,
good. You got a pretty good list here. Like,
I
Yeah, it's
went,
not bad.
I went and looked, and I was just like, Groovy's team's doing great. Groovy's, statistically the best player on the team. Zorny was honestly the person I was going to put number 5 if it wasn't Geo, for sure. So I think just based off of his team's performance and how he's playing, Groovy deserves, top 2, top 3 at least. Fuzzle was kind of a little tossed in there, but that's because I can't have everybody on Car's team on the list. So
based.
Damn.
No way.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true for TJ's case.
true.
True for TJ's
No way.
case.
Wait, so if we beat you, one of us would be up there?
Oh, for sure, yeah. But like my mental
Oh,
image of what you guys
no
are
way.
isn't great.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't even argue. It was a bad day.
All right,
It was a bad day to be bad.
let's go over the Matt picks. Number 2, Matt.
Wait, did Justin have anything to add to the groovy?
Oh, sorry,
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't realize you
yeah,
picked
yeah.
Groovy.
Gomez
My
Groovy
brain's
too.
just glossed over that. Sorry.
Freaking guy.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
so,
Man,
the list is listing.
look, y'all were saying, "Oh, why is Mateo 4?" And I'm sorry, dude. You're seeing players that are playing better individually as a team. You know, the beautiful part about Groovy and Zorni, if you watch how they play, they enhance each other's game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's just like Groovy's coming into a form that I haven't seen from last league that I think is pretty awesome. Especially if you know the guy personally, like I said, he's awesome, man. Glad I was able
Yeah.
to meet him personally.
Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
We went to Worlds, but like he's he's a father, he's a grinder, and this guy gets his hours.
Yep.
For all I know, this is probably the only game he plays.
Mm.
And it's definitely shining through. You definitely don't threaten, being a championship favorite by just sitting on your couch on the game, but whatever. So
Yeah.
Groovy, yeah, I think him, the combo with Zorni over there, uh, kind of really cementing themselves as a top favorite.
Yeah, totally agree. I am here for the Groovy Glaze. Was his former teammate.
Mhm.
Loved playing with him, and I'm very happy to see that he's continuing to be successful.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
now let's go on to the Mateo Glaze real quick.
yeah. I mean, I got Mateo here. Honestly, I think it's just a name for me. Mateo, very solid player. Very great player. Everybody knows it. He's top of the A tier. Uh, Individually, best skilled. In my opinion. I think when it comes down to playing threes on the level that he's playing on right now, he's doing good enough for him to be 2-1,
Mhm.
be top of the A tier league, and whatnot. Um, I mean, there's a player who I think edged over him.
Mhm.
And we'll get into that. But I mean, yeah, Mateo, great player. Showing up when he needs to, and that's really all I got.
Yeah, sweet. Yoki, anything to add?
Well, other besides than like Mateo's like individually probably like one of the best players. Like I feel like his stats are a little added on because of Enzo. Like I feel like Enzo is like a little bit underrated in this team. Like he's definitely like slanging that ball to him. Like I'm telling you, bro. Like he's slanging that shit to Mateo. But Mateo's able to finish though, at least every time. So I feel like that's something to count. And yeah, I think Mateo's here number 2 pretty solidly. I actually want to hear your reason for Ryan, brother. I need to hear this. Number 2.
So
True, true, true.
Curious.
Ryan
Curious.
makes or breaks the
Mhm.
Nessies right now. I
Oh,
think that
100%.
if Ryan isn't like you put any other player in
Mhm.
Ryan's spot, I
Yeah.
think that team absolutely folds. And
It probably falls apart.
Ryan has had such good patience, such strong mental, and such direction. Like he's a leader on this team for a good reason. And I
Mhm.
mean, should be either number 2 or number 1 based off of MMR, based off of statistics, based off of his attitude. It's always a joy to play with him.
Yep.
And I think, the only reason Nessie's is 7-7 right now is because of Ryan.
Oh yeah, dude. Ryan is fucking goated, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Shit.
when Fishy picked Ryan, I was pretty questionable about it. I definitely
That
underrated
was a
Ryan super
phenomenal
heavily
pick.
coming into the season. But playing with Ryan now, I mean, seeing the way that he's able to see the field in ways that I've never
Mhm.
been able to do before. I mean, the only reason that we're winning series is because Ryan, mid game or in between matches, like, hey, we need to do this more, or hey, they're doing this, so we can counter it with this. I mean, Ryan, incredibly smart. Huge reason as to why we're winning. I mean, like you said, vibes are high. I mean, I love Ryan. Ryan's been great. He's really made the team what it is.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, he was my teammate last season. He's fucking
Oh yeah,
amazing.
bro.
Dude, he's amazing. Fucking love that dude. Golden teammate. I call him the golden teammate, man.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Golden standard, boys.
All right,
I got the golden ticket. Give me in the factory chat.
brothers, this
up.
is your number one
Shut
pick overall, and it is a mix of Mateo and Ryan.
That's what you like to see, boys. That's what you like to see.
Damn, Mateo over Ryan though. I don't know. Tough.
I think it's the same
It's pretty
thing.
close. But
Yeah, it's definitely pretty close. But and since I just talked about Ryan, I want to talk about why Mateo is better. I think
Yeah,
Mateo, like, while Ryan has like the image of Ryan in my head is this natural like leader for your team. He puts things together. I think Mateo is just the executor, and an executor like blue lock, striker, ego, whatever you want to call it. Like the executor on a team, I think is more vital to a lineup than someone who has to bring two players with him and bring them up. When Mateo slots in with Gio, I mean, also having Gio on my list here, I think you have to give credit to what should have been, I think that game 5 could have gone either way. Like they easily could have closed out that series. I think it was just up to chance they didn't. And if they had, I think it's clear-cut Mateo, but I definitely understand a Ryan argument for not closing it out.
I actually thought about this one, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah?
So like,
Oh, really?
yeah, this one I actually thought about. My reason for Mateo number one is simply just because he's only had one series with his full team.
That's
He's
fair.
been the consistent player on that team, and they've been winning. And it's hard for me to not have somebody who is subbing somebody up every week, pretty much, and still being, arguably the best team in the league, record-wise. Beating full squads, not beating other teams that are not, also half-mast. Like he's beating full squads that are coming in and with 2 subs even at times. So I think it's hard to discredit him being number one just simply because of that reason.
Okay.
I mean, I have to disagree with the trying to think of a way to say
They've only
this
had one
without sounding
series with their
dumb.
full squad.
Yeah, but they also ended up losing that series. Like, why can't Mateo play with players that are on his level?
That doesn't mean
You know what I
because he
mean?
lost a game 5 series with his full team doesn't mean that he doesn't know how to play with his teammates. He literally just doesn't get the time to play with his teammates.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, if he's able to carry players, and get the win like that, I don't see how him, Gio, and Enzo are able to lose. But also going into that game 5, going either way, I completely disagree. I think coming into game 5, Ryan completely had it figured it out, and that's why I have Ryan up on my number one, because Ryan's always able to figure it out. I think that match was going to be ours no matter what, just simply because Ryan was able to pick at their flaws and direct Drew and I to do exactly what to do. I mean, Ryan had 8 goals that series. You want to talk about executing? Me and Drew had 1 apiece. Ryan with 8. I mean, Ryan played phenomenally going into that. We're talking about our top 2s here. I think Ryan's just able to get the edge on him with this one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. But let's hear Gomu first. I want to hear Gomu.
No. Y'all go. I'm gonna end it, bro, because I've got all the bangers right now. I'm about to fucking silence y'all crazily. Yoki, you take it, bro. You take it.
Okay. All right. I'll let you end it. But for me, Ryan, look, Mateo's got Gio, okay? And Enzo's working phenomenally with Mateo. Ryan's a block. It's him against the world. Okay. Ryan is
I agree with that.
Bro. He's out here like, yo, I'm on this field, bro. He might win it scrappily, okay, 3-2. But look at the people he's playing against, bro. Like, and he's still coming out on top by himself. He's like, I'm here, bitch. I'm here, bitch. Look at me. Look at me, bro. You're like,
censor yourself and then
what the
admit
fuck?
it. I like it.
Like, that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, Ryan's doing that out here by himself. I know Carr and Mountain Dew, of course, are doing like a great work, but Carr just said he had 8 goals. That's basically 1v3. He's basically out here fucking going hard.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say. Mateo, you're worse than him, bro. You gotta step up.
Next time win the series.
Kadoku. Mateo's not the only one that can go to S. Trust me. Ryan can go to S if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, Ryan could easily
okay?
hit S tier.
Easily.
Mateo's not the only one. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, oh, Lee.
All right.
But yeah, let's see it go.
Hit us with the
Finish
bangers,
us off, baby.
Goldman.
All right. Y'all need to shut the fuck up when you put disrespect on Ryan. Listen,
Yes, sir.
This is
yes, sir.
call it anime as fuck. This is the king of adaptability. Straight up. Straight up. This is somebody who I've got to witness from season 0 go through trials and tribulations through the game. Of just having to perform every single time, and he had a lot to learn through the game, and this is now finally like he's in his Anthony Edwards season, buddy. This is it. This is like he's starting to come through. He's performing very well. For people who don't know who Ant is, not the other Ant. It's a menace, bro. Ryan is
menace.
to be able to shine as the first, the number one guy, right? You have the likes of Carr. Look. I'm gonna keep it $150 here. We all clown on Carr all we want, bro. He's a great player, straight up.
Yeah.
His consistency is where his fault is, but when he's on, I'm sorry, he might be the top of the league easily.
Yeah.
Highest
ceiling.
That's a wild take. Top of the
Easily.
league.
I'm sorry.
Highest ceiling.
Look,
highest ceiling.
I have to lock in every time on there. Look, I'm saying top up there. You still got Mateo, right? And look at my list. You say, oh, Mateo's at 4. He's a great player. There's just people playing better than him right now. I have faith in him coming up, but I can't rightfully go on a whim. Oh, he's gonna be better. No, I'm doing now. You got to show me the results. That's how it works. Ryan is doing just that. He is showing Ryan is doing with that. This ragtag team. Right, Carr's inconsistency problems still coming through, and he's still shining through. Mountain Drew, who can't, he's got a little bit more in him, but he's still not able to, push through as that second star player or that star player to take over a match. Ryan always does it every time. And here's the biggest thing:
he's there.
You guys were always like, oh, Mateo had to do it with a ragtag team. He subbed with Rectals in one of the games. Rectals is not a B tier player. I'm sorry, he's not a B tier player. He's easily top of A. Easily. Could have gone round 1, round 2. He just is. And with coaching and everything he continues to get, he just keeps getting better. So you guys keep bringing in as this thing. If you want to bring up Eric, whatever. T. Saban was there to help him. Went to go demo. They won the game because of that, But you can't have that as an excuse for, oh, Mateo's performing. Well, no, Mateo is performing at an average. And that's just because I'm holding him to this standard, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Ryan is hitting that standard and going above it.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the head-to-head.
Yeah.
Easily. But
easily
Groovy
number 1, number 2.
Groovy, though, there's not a lot of... I'm not seeing... Except TJ, I mean, he did that just because he said vibes, whatever. Look, man, Groovy is sneaking himself into the conversation. Zorny is sneaking himself into the conversation. They are performing.
Top 3.
Come playoff time, come
Matt,
playoff
Ryan,
time,
Groovy,
who's going to show up?
Yeah.
Who's going to show up?
For sure. Like, Groovy, Zorny, they can sneak in the top 5 probably by playoffs. Like, even for me. So shit.
I think they're because look, you have 2 weeks left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Till we go into playoff season. 2 weeks. And Mateo's having to battle a lot. He can show himself out, and I would love that. Please prove me wrong. Why you shouldn't be number 4, Mateo? Prove me wrong, because right now I'm just not seeing it. But Ryan is doing it all, and he is doing it great.
Yep. For sure. He
Totally
lays that
fair.
shit on the field, man. Oh God.
All right. Well, that is the end of your A tier arguments. Here we go with the aggregates. Bang! Ryan on top.
Let's go.
Mateo number 2. Groovy Fuzzle ignited.
All right, I can live with this.
Just sneaking in there.
I like it.
I think
Only
this one's
reason
really
he snuck in
interesting.
there is only reason Ignited snuck in over Geo is that Geo was consistently number 5 and Drip got 2 number 4 mentions.
I just want to say I think this aggregate list is really interesting. We're seeing the 3 players on the top 3 teams at the moment, and then we see 2 players who are on the bottom 2 teams. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's pretty interesting. I just wanted to point it out.
I feel like it's mostly individual. Like we said, like if it was
Yeah,
team,
of course.
we'd be ranking this whole thing differently. Be like,
Yeah, of course. I think it's differently listed than the tiers that we did before with CMB tier. Whereas more we were talking, more based on stats wise, with Darty saying with the last tier, we can't not put those 3 Night Stalker players in there because they're doing so well. I think it's just interesting how we have
I guess it's because we have this A tier knowledge and whatnot.
Maybe.
Our A tier bias.
Maybe
Yeah,
A tier bias,
yeah,
maybe.
100%.
Maybe a little bit.
Which means y'all need to leave y'all's freaking top 5 list in the comments, chat.
Yes,
While you're down there, go ahead and
sir.
subscribe
Yes,
and hit that like
sir.
button.
Oh my god.
Oh
Love
yeah,
that promo. That was a fucking
There's-
badass promo. Yeah.
S tier, big boys time.
Yep, big boy
big
time.
boy
I
time.
mean, we say big boy
Big boy.
time. It's probably pretty. I think like the top 3 are like almost identical on like everybody.
Look, man,
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, there's a guy, and if I see him on this list, they're all frauds.
Oh no.
All right,
Who is
number
it?
5, the consistent work with Bass.
Yeah.
Oops,
You know,
my
he's-
fault. My fault.
Sosa.
This is just the.
We
It's
love
just
the Sosa.
Mateo.
Okay, I do
it's
like
just
the
the Mateo
Sosa
run.
take.
Interesting though.
I like the Sosa take a lot.
Like he's not playing bad for sure. Like
He's,
Hey,
he's
man,
in my
I've just-
honorable
I've heard-
mention. Sosa's
Hey man,
in my
I've heard,
honorable.
I've just heard nothing good about that King Gong team. Like, every single time it seems like Kadoku's crashing out in Jin chat or something like that.
well, you have
I haven't
Crybaby
seen-
Kyle, you have Crybaby
Right.
Kadoku. It's
Well,
it's the same
Kyle's
thing,
gone now. Kyle's
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
even
he
doing
Audi
no more.
5000.
No, I know. He had
But no, I don't know, man. I just feel like that team.
Oh, you guys want to know who's in?
Who's in?
Nimbussy?
Nimbus.
Oh,
Nimbus.
oh,
Yeah.
them pussy, man.
Free
Yeah, that
him, bro.
team-
Free him. He is gonna quit the league next week.
That team's jogging.
If they perform better without Kyle, I swear to God, bro. I'd be like,
That would
I
be
could see
nuts.
it. It'd be
I'll
funny.
have a
Like,
newfound
hey,
respect
yo.
for
That's the
Nimbus.
worst part is I see it too, bro. I see it.
Oh
It
my
either
God,
happens
man.
or they
It's official.
completely crash out, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
great either way.
Look,
I feel like
Nimbus is gonna
Kadoku and
be
Nimbus
there
are gonna
with-
argue, bro.
Yeah, there's gonna be
gonna be
nonchalant
so
Bass every time. You know, this this is a narrative in a fucking app. Bro. Let me talk about Bass number 5. It's because again we talk like I was saying Mateo earlier. I was throwing that word because he's doing the same thing. He has his team, but his team don't have themselves. Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's straight up
Okay, that's fair.
like he's having a fight for his own life here, and it's tough because from what I know about Bass is his coaching style of threes is completely different than a traditional one of how the positions are, what your offense looks like, what's your defense. And that's not to say it's wrong. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a guy that dominated last league.
Well, I got a hold of him.
Only losing to the Maples Smurfette, but it's tough. Tough, man.
Mhm.
For sure. Yeah.
No,
But-
I can't say I disagree. I love Bass. He's great.
Wait, but what did Carr say about Sosa? Why does he have him here?
Wait, I didn't
What's
say
your
anything.
take, bro?
about
You didn't even say nothing.
No, he didn't talk
No, I
about
just
Oh,
said my
wait,
take on. I just
okay.
said my take on why Bass
Oh,
was on
your
my list.
take on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Um,
Let's say it.
I think Sosa is a phenomenal player to be paired up with Saban. I mean, as Sosa, 12 assists, Saban with 19 goals. I mean, that doesn't come out of nowhere. I think Sosa knows how to play around Saban and with Saban at the same time. And I think that's a huge reason why that team would be considered so strong. I do think they have a weak link 100%. That's maybe why they're not the undefeated team right now. But I still think Sosa and T Saban together, it's a deadly combo. I think Sosa just complements him so well.
Totally agree. Would put number 6, but I just know that what Bass is capable of, and I have to.
Yeah,
put him
Bass
5 there.
individually.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Bass individually. Ah, man.
But I do really appreciate the Sosa mention because
Yeah.
being able to play with them and getting a reverse sweep on.
Yeah.
On what was
Congratulations
it?
to
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, who was it against, Darty? Who was it against?
Yeah, one more time.
My brain's
Yeah,
what
say
is
it with your
exploding.
fucking chest, baby.
Wait.
Say it with your fucking chest.
Did they
we
do something
fucking-
last season?
We fucking reverse swept Moby Dicks.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mapler.
Yo, Darty just shit on Maples, Bill. Totally.
It was
All
against
dirty, by the way.
Goose
All
Maples
dirty.
and Thailands.
Damn,
they did-
Tyler,
they
you
did have
left
the
and look,
Thailands
I'm
signed
here.
up.
You put your dick on Tyler's forehead? That's crazy.
Bro, no wonder
Oh
he
no!
quit the damn
Look.
cast,
If you
bro.
go and look at the games, I trolled for like the
Oh.
first two, I like hard trolled, and then I locked the fuck in,
You locked in, bro.
and then we
Dial.
won 3 straight.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Reverse sweep. We're back in that bitch.
Darty had to get hard for a minute. He had to get hard.
Had to say,
Yeah.
"Hold up." But yeah, playing with Saban and Sosa was such a joy. They had such wonderful mentals about playing.
Awesome.
They were really like they gave me the patience to be bad in the series for like 2 games, and then didn't even like tell me to lock in. It was like a, all right, bro. I'm like, I was the one that locked in and said, all right, I'm changing the playlist. We're getting this shit done. And then,
Let's go.
pull out the sweep. You know what we do.
I'm talking about, boy. It's my boy Darty.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
All right.
love the
all right.
social mention. But other than that, pretty unanimous on the Bass. So we'll go ahead and move into number 4 here with some interesting takes. We got the number 4 Faith. The Seam Glaze. Okay, I agree with Seam. I think he's been playing. I just want to talk about that first. I think Seam has been really impressive. He was one of those border players that we moved from A to S, and I think it was a wonderful choice. He's been such a beautiful complement to Monster Mario, and I don't think Monster Mario's team would be as successful without Seam. He has been such a like on the field positionally, and how he's playing with Monster Mario and Shack House has just been fantastic. Like, huge props to him. That he's been someone that's really impressed me from combines to current season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Seam was that guy who I said was, I thought Mario trolled with his second round pick, picking up Seam. But Mario knows ball, Chad. Mario knows ball. Seam,
he definitely knows
coming
ball.
out,
They are
coming out,
9-3
showing out. I mean,
for a good reason.
Yeah.
And not only that, but Seam carried one of those series all the way to the victory. I mean, Seam went crazy in one of the matches. I think he had an average of like a higher of 460, something like that.
At least one of the matches.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Seam, phenomenal player, doing wonderful work right now. Huge reason as to why the NSU's S tier is undefeated at the moment. And I think he's going to keep on doing it, keep on, proving everybody who thought he didn't have it in him wrong. I mean, he's got a catchphrase nowadays. Now you see him, now you don't. You know what I'm saying? Get him in there.
Is that week 3 King Kong Nessies that he went absolute? Yeah, he got 2 MVPs.
Oh yeah, bro. Seems him, bro.
All right, fuck it. I'm on the Seam train now. Be on the Seam train.
But you got to defend y'all got to defend your Maples pick real quick.
I wasn't. Hey, like
Okay,
I said,
I can.
bro, individual players,
individual players. Yeah,
he
Maples
is
definitely better than
consistent,
Seam. Come on,
right?
Like
if he's
but like his
consistent,
team
why
sucks.
couldn't he close out the series?
Yeah, exactly. You said his team, bro. You said his team.
You're right,
like Goose
team
is still
sucks.
doing good. I think
Whoa.
he's kind of having to. It's like that third man problem that always has to happen. That you have to fix, and that's not even to say Delta. He isn't doing what I would have liked from him. At the start of the predictions, right? I'm saying Delta's got to impress me. Still not there yet, but he's not doing as bad as I thought he would. But Maples is going against real comp, so he needs a real team against it. He's always going to be that consistent player, but he's getting I watched some of those matches. Especially you hear, yes, they had Thailands, but you're getting reverse swept after going up 2-0. Doesn't matter who you're going against. It's like you got to close that out, right?
Yeah.
And I just wonder what the mental game side of it I think was a big part of it, but that doesn't deter the fact that Maples is still a great player.
Yeah, individually, fuck him.
Yeah. He's low hours right now, no?
Oh, he's low hours too. Fuck
yeah. Maple's been low hours. I think he's been busy with actual life stuff. Definitely honorable mention. Maples being S tier MVP last season. I just think this season he's not doing what he did last season. I think it's a similar thing with what Justin was saying with Mateo. Justin's got Mateo on a standard, and I think for me, I got Maples on a standard. And Maples just he isn't there. I mean, from what he did to me last season to where he's at now, I think it's.
Well, I had Maples at number 1, and now he's at number 4.
Mm.
So I'm just saying, he did drop because I did hold him at this high standard.
Yeah, of course.
But he's dropped. He's dropped.
Yeah.
All right,
shit.
TJ, you've been a bit quiet. Tell me about this number 4
Fade.
I was letting y'all. What do you mean? I mean, I think
a little too low.
Stats, his team.
I think it's too low.
A little too low. I don't know. I got him and Maples basically interchangeable 3 and 4 for me personally.
Okay.
Really?
I kind of put Maples above just because honestly Maples is a homie. Play with him. He's a fucking good ball.
Guys,
Love Maples.
If Stephen A. Smith said that, bro, he's getting smited. And guess what? He has been smited before.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I just felt like looking overall in his team, don't get me wrong. They won last week with the Blue G on the team versus Kyle Best. Don't get me wrong. That team's not doing great with the old mental side of things, considering one of
Yeah.
them's gone now. But I think that's he has to be top 4 minimum. I
Yeah.
definitely moved him down a little bit,
Yeah,
just
minimum,
specifically
yeah.
because I love Maples.
Okay.
Totally fair.
I respect it. I respect it.
All right, then let's move into number 3. Pretty much
Holy.
across the board, it's Faith.
Yeah, bro.
Dude,
Man,
Faith.
I dog in the sky.
He makes
but, I
that
mean,
team. Faith makes
Yeah,
that team.
He won. He's the one.
Like without
Is
Faith,
Bloom the problem?
Was Bloom the problem?
Is Bloom the problem? Blue G
No, because
comes in
they've won. They've won
Well,
before. They've won with Bloom.
Yeah,
before.
but
I mean,
yeah.
Faith and Blue G just have chem because they've played together like before the season. So I don't think that's any statement about Bloom because he's won a LAN in MSC. Like you don't get to be a good player without winning a LAN.
Yeah,
So-
Bloom's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even looking at last week though, Blue underperformed really badly. It was really rough for him. And even
That
going
is
into
true. He had the
combines,
double
Yeah.
digit. He had the double digit game.
even going into Bloom, in combines playing with / against him. I mean, a solid player, 100%, but he didn't meet expectations for me. I think we may have Bloom a little bit overrated in my opinion, or at least I did personally.
No, I don't think he's overrated. I just think that the way his playstyle mixing with Faith is just too different. Bloom is
Yeah.
pure NA, and Faith
Yeah.
Faith plays really good with people like Blue G, like Zaffa or Alpha. He plays really good with
Europeans?
these people. Yeah, he plays really good with Europeans.
Yeah.
He just plays out of his mind. But Bloom,
Yeah.
pure NA, bro. He's a
Yeah,
pure
I could
NA
totally see that as like a
player.
mentality conflict.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it might be. It's not really his fault.
Like right players,
but
wrong
it is
team.
kind of his. Yeah, it's dang.
I will say, I do
Maybe.
think Faith is the easiest player to play with on
Oh, yeah,
the higher
100%.
levels. 100%.
100%.
I played with him and I was like, oh my god, why is this so easy? The games feel free when I was playing with him. And he
Yeah.
made me look good. He made me look I felt like I was playing super well. And it was just because it was Faith.
Yeah, I think
I don't
if
know.
I had to rate them easiest to play with, it would definitely be Faith, Monster, Maples for me. Easiest to play with in order.
I don't know, man. I always struggle to play with those top tier teams or top tier players.
I was gonna
That
wait
means you're
till
not a
after going through
top-tier
the list,
player.
but I'm
Ooh.
gonna tell you, I like TJ's mention of that, right? Who could play with that. But
Mhm.
here's my take on, inevitably my rest 3. Faith is in a I'll skip to the competitive. He's hard to play with if you don't keep up with him.
Mm.
In
You
a
have to play to
competitive,
a certain
you
level.
got to play it. Mario is gonna bully you to play up to him. And T Saban's just gonna nonchalant you play with you, right? That's what I think it is on that top
Yeah, I
side. And it's
agree.
kind of cool to see that as an aspect that helps
Mhm.
what you can imagine them. They're all great players, and it kind of just shows the idea of play style
Mhm.
in this beautiful game we call Rocket.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Saban. It's hard for me to play with Saban.
I love Saban.
Out of those 4, I don't know why. I guess it just doesn't mix.
Just mentality, probably difference.
Yeah, bro.
It's oh.
Nah, bro. Car Saban combo. If you know, you know.
Shut up.
I love
That
playing
was so
Mario,
stupid.
Maples. and
Dude,
Faith,
it's true. Y'all weren't there for it. Y'all weren't
I was there
actually,
for
Darty, you
that.
were
I
there
was
for it.
literally
Darty
on your
was there for it.
team.
Dude, Car Saban combo. That's crazy.
I was
On me,
on
on
your
me.
team.
Dude, listen. We continued it afterwards. I'm sorry. But yeah, Darty was there for that. Dude, it's
We
the best
continued
endeavor.
it
It's the best player.
afterwards. The fuck.
Yeah, bro.
But look, if you don't have faith in Faith, you're
Oh,
tossing.
shit.
You're
Oh,
tossing.
It's not a bar
Oh,
anymore.
bro.
I said that
The
shit
pause ruined it, bro.
last season in league. I said that, bro. It's not original. I even hated it when I said it.
I mean,
No, I
if
love it
if
when
he
I
if
say
he
it.
got the blue tag,
You got Faith with 8.
we have
Yeah.
we have the faith in faith, but unfortunately he missed it.
Or he lost the aura
Yeah.
points, bro. He could have.
Who are we looking at for number 2 though, Darty?
Number
see this.
two,
2 spot looking like
bang,
almost across the
Oh,
board.
shit. Okay.
the monsters versus the
Yeah,
Saban.
bro.
Nah,
Look,
I,
man,
I love
Mario's
it.
gonna flame us
I
all.
love Mario. Love playing with him. I just want to see just a little bit more out of him that I think Saban can deliver. Because Saban can deliver a reverse sweep with me. I don't know if Monster Mario does. I think Monster Mario's flaming the fuck out of me game 2.
And I mean, if you look at the teams, I think Monster Mario, he has a full team. Seam and Shackhouse being phenomenal players. T Saban's over here, he's playing with Sosa, and then he's just down a teammate. I mean, where's Ascended at, dude? This guy
Yeah,
was
where the
playing
fuck
so
happened to
good in
Ascended?
Combine.
He's had a
Now
lot
this
of
guy-
like work life stuff come
okay.
up, so
Okay,
he's
got it.
unfortunately been unavailable for the most part.
I see.
Okay.
I think if that team had
Just get me
Ascended
in
on
there,
it,
bro.
this would be a whole entire different league.
Just get me in there, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think if Ascended was playing like really well, or like
Yeah.
even playing, just playing. Yeah, I feel like for sure. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Mention your T
anyone else?
Saban reasoning, Yoki. T Saban
Look-
number 2. Why not number 1?
I feel like he's probably better like games wise. Like he probably plays around like other people really like well, like better than Monster Mario. But I think Monster Mario is just better. Like he just could take over the game when he wants, and I feel like T Saban just lets whatever happen. He has no initiative. But that's just me. Like when I play with him, like that's what I see.
That's
I
just
don't
me,
know.
though.
I mean, I can
Kinda
see
just
it like
mm,
loudly spoken versus soft spoken
Yeah.
as like
so
impact on the
I'm kinda
field.
just like, eh.
I think it's like a presence kind of thing. Like Mario has more presence on the field than
Yeah.
Saban does.
I think on paper,
Yeah.
seeing your thing, Yoki, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, that's a little troll, but I think with your explanation, it kind of just not being too biased into it. I think it's fair.
I mean, like look at these stats too. Like he's literally interchangeable in them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
pretty much, and he's
Yeah.
close. Like I'm just kind of like I don't know. I just think Monster Mario is number 1 in the league.
Fair enough.
That's just my opinion.
I guess that brings us to our number
Monster
1 pick.
Mario
Yeah.
agrees with you.
Yep.
But your number 1 pick, practically
T. Saban
across the
Mario.
board, it is literally the inverse of the last one.
Yeah.
T Saban
Okay, wait.
on top.
Since I have Monster Mario as my number 1, I just want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't putting T Saban there if you guys didn't know his MMR. That's all I gotta say.
What do you mean?
I didn't know
his
his
Nah.
MMR. I ain't
There's
gonna
no
lie. I didn't
way.
know shit about his
Nah.
MMR.
There's no
No.
way, bro.
I didn't know.
I put
T-Saban
I
was
put
like
it.
that.
There's
I
no
reverse
way
sweep
you're
with
putting
him.
him
I'm
there.
putting him there
Ready?
every time.
Nah.
Even
Justin
with
got it, Justin
MMR,
got it.
someone hit 2K and someone didn't. I'm
Ooh.
sorry. I'm sorry.
We got somebody
not
on the
even
2K
that.
roll.
That's
even
not
that.
that's not something I'm using to judge it. That's something I'm using to
Yeah.
elevate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm
even
just
just
saying.
that. It's not even just that. Saban said SSL. Mario still hasn't. Mario's sit steady 1800 for the past God knows how long.
Oh yeah, probably.
But he weighs
And guess what?
Oh,
And guess
wow.
what? He might hit it with Saban, bro, and that's just gonna hurt the Mario stocks, bro.
Oh yeah.
You don't hear that? He said, "I got to solo queue the game right
Uh,
before."
I
Watch
think
that, Mario.
I think it just comes down to Saban is just he's able to play with anybody. Mario struggles to play with certain players. Me being one of them. But yet, me and Mario have such a hard time playing together. He expects me to go for things that I'm thinking that I shouldn't be going for, and whatnot. But when I'm playing with Saban, it seems like we're always, we got the same vision going on the field. I'm able to see what he's seeing. He's able to see what I'm seeing. I think Saban's just more adaptable to Mario, and that's why I got Saban above
Look,
him.
man, I'm gonna say this because this was probably my favorite thing. This is introduction to that whole group of people. Saban, it was a scrim. I was in a passing route, and I had never seen somebody fake pass me 3 times in a row.
Oh,
I had never. It's like, okay, maybe you fake it a bait. No, he was faking me as if he was gonna pass it 3 times, guys. That's not completely related to anything with his placement. I just thought that was a really crazy thing because why are you faking me, bro? Just pass the ball. Just pass the ball. He destroyed
just do what I
me,
want
bro.
you to do, man. Just do
Please,
what you-
bro. Like, I was positioned so well, guys, and he knew it too. He knew it. This motherfucker, he faked it 3 fucking. Anyways,
Oh boy. All right. Well,
All right, Chad. Somebody's bound to have a perfect list, right?
All right. I mean,
yeah,
maybe.
somebody.
But here we go. Here's your aggregate. Bang.
it was me.
It
Gomu
was
did
you.
it.
It was
Yeah, it was
He knows the
going.
Boy, oh
most
boy.
S tier. Everybody's
Yeah,
pretty close. TJ almost had it. He just had to swap Faith and Maples.
I almost had to swap
I'm
Monster.
taking out the
and T7,
bias.
and I had
IP.
it.
Yep.
I
Aggregate.
didn't have it,
Chat.
Chad. I didn't have it.
All right.
God damn it, Mario. Stop performing so well, and I wouldn't have put you at number one. You motherfucker. Performed
his
badly.
predictions would have been correct.
Exactly.
I mean,
God
everybody
damn
was
it.
generally pretty close. I think
It's
there's a few
yeah.
interesting takes here and there, but
I think
it's
what
pretty
I
clear.
think is really cool, is seeing Maples, right, especially aggregate on 4, just overall in that lower end. You know, this is someone that last season was like straight up a fucking demon, just
Yeah.
everywhere, right? Like you saw him, and it was hard to deal with him. And ironically enough, there was one game specifically, like I saw he had like, you know, certain games, whatever, where it could have been an issue. Faith, I know, shut him down a lot. So it's kind of poetic to see. You know, these were the only two in the last league, you know, besides Bass, that they played together against each other as much as possible, and now they're kind of in these positions where Faith is trying to lead his team, you know, through it, as well as Maples. It's duality, like they're, you know, they're yin and yang. Where like at the start, I felt like Maples, you know, would have been clear cut top 3. You know, Mario definitely putting his hat in the ring, and then T Saban coming from downtown, you know, picked them up from freaking wherever they're from.
He hopped off the bus and said, "This is mine."
So yeah, it's one of those interesting things to me personally, like kind of just seeing how this played out.
But yeah, that's all we
Yeah,
got. You
good,
know,
right?
that's been a good 2 hours. You want to sign us off, Yoki?
Guys, best podcast so far. It's me, your main host, Yoki. We got main co-host Gold Moon and Car, TJW as our guest, and Darty as our best producer, along with Akuma.
Shout out, Dirty.
Signing off. Yeah, yes,
Peace,
sir.
y'all.
Peace.